Dude, that black armor, black helmet
Oh my
with the
gosh.
gold. They look like spinal bones.
Yeah, they
like in the
do.
back of his head. Like it's like braided into like the back of the helmet. Looks freaking crazy.
That's one of those Nolan adaptations where it's like, I don't know. I think that's a pretty dope upgrade. Like that looks tough as hell. Like I know it's not accurate, but come on. Can we be objective?
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the Film Room Podcast. And guess what, Scott? New Christopher Nolan just dropped.
Sir. Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this from time, bro. I'm so excited to talk
Me
about
too,
this.
man. And today we're talking about Christopher Nolan's new movie, Odyssey. In this episode, we're responding to the internet's thoughts on the movies and whether they're excited, whether they're nervous. We're going to get into our deep dive conversation on the film, and we're going to give out 6 awards. But before we get into that, Scott, we have to salute the general and give our general thoughts. So, Scott, what were your...
you got to salute, bro.
Oh, my bad. General thoughts. Yeah, my bad. General thoughts. What were your thoughts on the Odyssey, Scott?
My thoughts are that it is absolute cinema, bro. This movie was freaking awesome. I loved it. I mean, the source material is already a great story, but then Nolan came in and he added so many elements to the story that I did not expect. You know, like from the trailer, I actually wasn't that hyped for the movie based on the trailer. I was like, in Nolan we trust, but I didn't see a whole lot there. I was like, okay, he's gonna work to get back. Maybe there's some suitors, you know, there's stuff back home. I don't know exactly how interesting that's going to be, but added so much stuff with characters, the gods, things that Odysseus just has to worry about, has to do, and that they all came back in the end and get paid off in such a satisfying way. And they're all just building up so that when we get to the end, I'm so excited to just see what's going to happen. It was amazing.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. It was so awesome. And I'm similar to you with the trailer thing too, because it was very much in Nolan we trust. Because I was like, I've never actually like I'm capping over here. I got the Odyssey book right here. I don't know if you can even tell that's the Odyssey book. I've never read this. This is Eloise's. Okay. Shout out the producer. But this is her book. She's put it there because she's like, you should throw it in there. I'm like, yeah, never read it. So I knew vaguely the story of the Odyssey though, just from Disney, honestly, like, and just like from school in like the Greek mythology course and stuff like that. So I knew like vaguely, but my expectations were high because it was a Christopher Nolan, not necessarily because of the actual book, and it exceeded those expectations. Again, like you said, there was just so much great parts in the movie. Just the IMAX experience in itself was just price of admission was just it was great, man.
Yeah, dude. Like I was talking about, like the story totally lived up to hype, exceeded my expectations. I was locked into the story. The visuals, that was something that I did have high expectations for, and totally delivered. Like we knew that every frame of this movie was going to be in IMAX. Christopher Nolan is like the IMAX guy, the guy who lives for this kind of thing. And the visuals were absolutely insane. Like, especially when you think about all this stuff is practical. They actually did all of this stuff. Like, especially all the stuff on the boats, like sailing through these massive storms, and we're on the boat a lot and we're seeing it like crash through waves, go up and down so much. And I'm like, I heard them talk about how tough this was to film, but like when I'm watching this and thinking like, man, all this stuff is real, must have been hell, but totally worth it. I mean, I can say it's worth it. I wasn't there, but it turned out amazing, dude. It looked awesome.
Yeah, no, and that's the crazy thing too, because I always think back to like my early journey, like in watching movies and stuff like that, and just that concept of like practical effects versus like special effects versus CGI. Like at the time, I didn't really care that much about it because I didn't really grow like appreciation for it, and in the sense of like what they're doing. But like when like Nolan, he's not the only person to do it, but like he's someone that's very like the really not like the leader of it, but I don't know what word I'm trying to say for it, but like he's just very much like the champion. He's a champion of doing practical effects. So like getting to see some of the behind the scenes on what they does for other movies and stuff like that makes you appreciate like, okay, like they're going the extra mile. Yes, doing CGI is cool, and like there's a place for it in certain movies. You're like, yeah, I want to see the cool effects. I like as using like Avatar, for example, and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, I want to see what you can do as far push those limits as far as you can go. But then there's also something to like, oh, I really want to see what someone can do with practical effects and try to make this look just as good if you can to using CG or whatever it is.
Yeah. And I mean, there's some things that you just have to do CG,
yeah, exactly.
Right? So, I mean, in this movie, it's not like there isn't any of that stuff.
No, exactly.
But You do it the least amount of possible, and it totally looked amazing, start to finish. I mean, a lot of people had hate for like the historically inaccurate like
Yeah.
costumes and maybe the sets and the way they talked and stuff like that. I I mean, I was originally saying that it kind of, I wouldn't say threw me off, but it surprised me that like the just the dialogue. I thought like that was obviously a clear choice that he's like, okay, speak with American accents. We're gonna speak in
Mhm.
modern English. That I didn't expect that. Like when we saw the first trailer, so it was a little jarring. But I actually think it turned out okay. And I mean, I'm not Greek, so this is
Yeah.
like the Odyssey isn't something that I hold close to me and say like this is our story, so it should be told like from our lens and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so maybe I'm not exactly the person to answer it, but I'm just giving my thoughts, and I thought it was all right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I can speak for myself. I'm not sure about you in the
Yeah,
sense of, obviously, yeah, we're both not Greek. I've never read the book, and I'm also not like a historian that like, yeah, just I'm not a historian. Like, so
yeah,
like to me, watching this movie, there was no gripes on any of those folds for me. Like, I'm just like, I'm excited to see his interpretation, like you said, like you've mentioned earlier before, where like I'm just interested to see what his vision for this is. If you don't like it because you're a historian or you're Greek or like it didn't match the book, you're valid in that, in that thought process because you have your own vision, but he also has his own vision, and that's what this movie is.
yeah. No, I totally agree, bro. Because I think as well, like this isn't a documentary. You know what I mean? Like that's not what he's trying to do. Like he's taking source material and then he's interpreting it and putting his touches on it. Like the stuff that he added into the story, some of it's not part of the original Odyssey, and I loved these additions to the movie. So I guess it just is just based on your opinion. What you liked is a good addition, and something if you don't like it, then no, you stick to the source material. Like to me, like you don't pick and choose like that. It's like this is this guy's interpretation of the story, so he can do in theory what he wants to. You give credit to say I'm taking inspiration from Homer's Odyssey, but this isn't Homer's Odyssey. This is Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, right? So like
Yeah.
it's not a documentary, and the movie's meant to entertain, so I don't really care as much about those things, but again, I'm not Greek. Maybe they have a bigger problem with it.
Yeah, and you know what? I was really like scratching my brain on this because I was trying to think what a good example was, and like I thought of just the what he kind of did with Dark Knight. You know what I mean? And it's in the sense of like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And like he took his interpretation of what the Batman world is and what superhero movies are, and that wasn't what people were doing. People were like, "I
Yeah.
hate this. I want campy stuff. Why does the Joker look like this? He's supposed to fall into a vat and then be all smiling, be all goofy." That's
Right.
something different that he did. People just happen to like it. I'm sure there's some purists that were like, "That's not my Joker. What the heck is he doing?" I don't
Yeah,
know
good
if
point.
they're not that loud. They're not a loud majority.
No.
But that's just kind of how I feel with this, where it's just like, yeah, this might not be your Odyssey, but like this is what he did with Batman is kind of what he did with this. Like Batman also didn't have like that voice thing, at least from the comics that I've watched and read. Like there's so many things that he added that just weren't in
Yeah.
DC, but they were just
Yeah.
cool. So we're like, all right, yeah, that's cool. It's different.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And I think this movie, something that I liked a lot about it too, was that like in classic Nolan fashion, the writing, like it still makes you think because of there's so many elements at play here. And you're like with characters and their past and like who they're loyal to, stuff like that, but you're not thinking so much. Like it's not one of his mindfuck movies where like you're just trying to figure out how the hell this whole world works and how things are happening. You're not thinking that much, so you can still kind of like relax and take in the massive scale, all the crazy moments of survival, and the quickly moving story. Like you can keep up with it because it's not ridiculously overwritten, but it still does make you think a little bit. I thought it was a perfect balance.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And with that being said, I kind of want to hear what the family's got to say. So let's get into it, Scott.
Let's do it.
I don't have friends. I got family.
All right, let's get into the family meeting. I put up a poll on our Instagram and asked the same question on Reddit this week. What's one thing you're excited or nervous for in this upcoming movie? We got a few responses. I'm going to combine Munchkinina and that Black Rose had a similar thoughts. They
Okay.
said, they can't wait to see it. They're most excited for the casting. They added Matt Damon, Pattinson, and Anne Hathaway specifically is who they're excited to see.
Mhm.
What do you think of the cast? How the performances? What do you think of the big names? Was it distracting? What do you think?
I guess I'm kind of used to this formula now. Like ever since, well, really, Oppenheimer was like an overload
Mm,
of just like big cast members, and so I already got you ready for that. Been doing that too, so it's not really distracting to me. It's almost just like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that person was in it, because some people I didn't even know were in this movie. Like I didn't really like look at the whole cast list before I came into it. So there was actually some people that I didn't know was going to be in here. I thought it was I thought it was interesting. I thought it was cool to see the big stars in there, but I wasn't necessarily like specifically excited to see anyone's performance. I was just excited for the movie as a whole. But I don't know how you felt about the casting.
yeah, I wouldn't say going in, I really was super excited to see anyone in particular. I mean, I'm a big Matt Damon fan. I really like Matt
Mhm.
Damon. He makes a ton of good movies, and I think he's a really great actor. He's one of my favorites of all time. Pattinson has been crushing it of recent.
Yeah.
Like he never really gives a bad performance. So I was excited to see, and I was very curious about his character too. Like he's
Mhm.
the guy that's kind of, I guess, the lead suitor for Penelope, and he's talking down to what's his name, Tom Holland's character. Oh, I have the
Oh,
list here actually. Telemach Telemachus. Telemachus.
yeah.
So yeah, I was really interested to see what Pattinson was going to bring to the movie. Anne Hathaway, I like her a lot. Like, I mean, there's just so many big names in here, and I like pretty much all of them, to be honest. And honestly, they all nailed it. I think the performances in this movie were really great. If there was one, I guess, that I would call distracting, was probably Bernthal for me. That guy, like
Okay.
I feel like John Bernthal has a thing that he does. He's just
Yeah.
kind of like a cool, like swag, like New York swagger almost kind of thing. And like he's
Yeah.
he's still doing that in this movie. Like everyone else, I feel like, even though, like I said, they're still talking with modern day English, they're still talking in American accents, but their mannerisms and like their physical performances were still kind of like this prestige upscale Odyssey type, what I would expect performance. But I feel like his mannerisms were still kind of just like some guy in New York that you pulled and threw into
Yeah.
old school Greece, you know?
I see that, especially when he was like screaming at
Yeah.
Helena of Troy, like when they're eating. I'm like, this just feels like this could have been him in the freaking Walking Dead. Like this is, it felt very much like some of his other characters, which is, I mean, Nolan cast him and told him to do that, so
Yeah,
I guess
I
that's what he
guess so.
wanted. But I
Yeah.
see your point. I see your point
Yeah.
with that one.
I'm gonna shout out our boy Kobe, no
Hey.
relation. He said he's excited for when he comes home and sees a bunch of men in his crib trying to haul out his wife, bro finna crash out. And we're not getting into spoiler territory yet, but you are correct, Kobe.
Oh shit.
um, and moving on to Reddit, I'm going to shout out Seeker of Experience. He said, I'm most excited to experience a story I loved as a child, retold by a director I trust to give me a spectacle. I'm also excited to spend time with my wife when we go to see it tomorrow.
That's
I
cute.
like that. I mean, the
I like that.
first part of it, I was like, okay, that's cool. You love the story as a child. But the second line, I was like, oh, that's nice. I hope
No, that is
you
nice.
and your wife had a great time at the movies, man.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, hopefully you're not too attached to the story that you liked as a child, because as we were saying, like it's a little different than the story you
True.
loved as a child. But
And there actually is some things that he changed. Like I know, like the Cyclops, like they escape in a different way in the original
mm,
story than they do in this movie.
I also heard the giants were naked, which is I'm okay with that choice, not to to have them naked. That would be really distracting and just be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Okay.
can still do it,
Fair enough.
but it's just like, yeah, that's a choice. I'm glad he made that choice. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, it's rated R, so he could have done whatever he
Yeah,
wanted.
that is true.
I'm gonna shout out one dependent who he said not taking Matt Damon seriously in this role. I'm guessing that's like one thing he's nervous about. That's what he's saying?
Okay.
Do you think you had trouble taking him seriously, or what did you think of Matt Damon?
Nah, not really. Like I feel like he's established leading guy. It's not like, oh, like Matt's never been a leading guy. Like can he hold the mantle of being a leading guy in a movie? So like I didn't even think at all about that.
Yeah.
Didn't personally.
Yeah. I think it was more. Yeah, I feel you're right. That is a weird thing because, like, I feel like if the comment was taking anybody seriously because of if it was the accent choice or whatever, like the director's choice, then fair enough. That's a fair like hesitation. But Matt Damon, like this, what else does this guy have to do to prove that he could do this?
That's what I mean. I'm like,
That's a good point.
man's 55. He's the Martian. He's Jason Bourne. Like
Yeah,
he's had so many lead roles where he's just dominated. If whether it's action, drama, so I don't know. What more does he have to do?
yeah, yeah. That is a good point. And lastly, I'm gonna shout out Pope Poise. This is a weird one. It bugs me the fact that the film can be interpreted as left wing propaganda, like most Hollywood movies these days. Can't the industry just provide us some pure non political entertainment? Literally, how? Like, literally, how could you interpret this movie as left wing propaganda? The only thing that I thought of was like maybe the diversity of the cast,
Yeah.
but like, if
You
you
threw
just
that
wanted
word
to
pure in there, which made me kind of like raise my eyebrow.
that's a good point. So, but if you wanted to be all white dudes, then that's like if you're like, oh, there was no black people in the Odyssey. It's like, well, they wouldn't have been white dudes either. They would have been Greek
Yeah.
dudes. You know what I mean? So like, it's just that was just a weird one I had to shout out.
Yeah, it's just someone that just gets upset about everything.
Yeah,
And it's just you just shrug your shoulders up like, all right, dog. That dude
'Cause
hates sinners, bro. That dude hates sinners.
oh, 100%. Yeah, but like, because sometimes like there is movies where like sure there's like
Yeah.
a theme of the movie is diversity or sexism or stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's not even the case here at all. Like
No.
how could you interpret this movie as left-wing propaganda? That doesn't even make sense.
It's literally just diverse. Some
Yeah.
people get that confused. Just having a diverse cast doesn't make it propaganda. Because at no point, like, there's no, like you said, there's no agenda. He didn't change out parts. Would be like, you know what? Like, no, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just nothing. There's nothing really. There's no like message about.
Yeah.
Like,
we're, we're about to get into spoiler territory, so I'm gonna throw a spoiler warning right now.
Yeah.
It's fair game from now on. Like the was it Odysseus's like right hand man, like the Indian guy.
Yeah.
Like it's not like okay that this dude's a person of color, so he's got to save the day somehow, or there's a character that like discriminates against him because of that. Like that never happens at all. Like Lupita Nyong'o, who's Helen of Troy and Agamemnon's wife, like she's black, but that doesn't change anything about the story.
No,
she
it
just
doesn't.
is a black person. So like that literally just threw me for a loop. I was like, there's no way you could interpret this as left wing propaganda. So I thought it was funny.
Yeah, like there's no line where this gets like randomly changed. Like you said, like I forget his Patel is that guy's last name, but I can't remember his first name.
Yeah,
But it's not
I
like
can
at
find
some
it
point
here.
he's just like, come on, what is it, Odysseus? Is it because I'm brown? You don't trust like it's not like he threw that line in there. He's like, no, of course not. Any brown person could do anything just as much as I can,
Right.
and they look at the camera or something. Like there was that never happened. He just happens to be brown. Like that everyone's
Yeah.
color just happens to be what they are. Like there's no even acknowledgement of it.
Himesh Patel is the actor's
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
As
Himesh
Yuri Locus is the character's
And
name.
Nolan just likes his. At the end of the day, Nolan's got his squad. That he was in
Yeah.
Tenet. You know what I mean? Like Anne Hathaway's been in a bunch. Damon's been in a bunch. There's some newbies on the cast, but like you look down at that cast and you'll realize that like he just has his guys. If he could have had what's his name, Caine in here, is it Michael Caine?
Oh yeah, Michael Caine. Yeah,
Yeah, if you got Michael
Christian
Caine, Michael
Bale.
Caine would have been in here too.
Benny
Christian
Safdie's
Bale.
in there. He was in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, exactly. He just has his guys. Like that's his squad. They came back 3-1 and they won a championship and he wants to
Hell
keep
yeah.
bringing those guys back. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, he's not trying to ruin the dynasty, man. He hasn't missed in a while. Why would you ruin that?
That's what I'm saying. Brought in a couple newbies, but for the most part, it's a lot of people that he trusts. He knows are great actors. Where he's just
Mhm.
like, I trust you in this role. You may not be the skin color or whatever it is, but like I know you're a great actor and I want you to be in this
Yeah.
role.
Yeah, or like we work well together. Like you get me when I give you a direction. Like you understand what I'm trying to say, and it just we have a good working relationship. You know, a lot of directors do that kind of thing. I guess the more I think about it, I feel like if you were to like make a complaint about like left wing propaganda, whatever, again, this movie is not that. But if I could point to like one line, it's maybe when Penelope is like, "Oh, this Ithaca needs a king.
Oh
I've been
yeah.
sitting on this throne for 20 years. Yeah, oh, it just has to be a man on the throne." And it's like, I mean, I get her being pissed off about that. She
Yeah.
literally has been queen for 20 years. But she's not a dude, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
True. That is exactly one in a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
There's one moment. And I wouldn't even say it's
And it's
propaganda.
earned.
Like,
Yeah, it's
are you going to be
earned.
standing on it and be like, what the hell is this? Woman empowerment? I don't want that in my movies. Like, you don't want it. I don't want woman empowerment for 30 seconds in one of my movies. This is ridiculous.
And it's not even empowerment. She says that and then doesn't get the throne. Like it's still
Yeah.
she says that, she's just like mad about it. And again, like it makes sense. It's not like she hasn't been queen for 20 years sitting on this throne rejecting suitors. It's all in there.
Yeah, to think that the like women weren't mad about things in times, it's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
such a new age thing. Women were just like, were always upset. You don't think there was one like 3 women in existence that were ever mad and spoke up about it?
Nope.
Like,
Never.
it's not unrealistic to have
It's
that
left
in
wing
there,
propaganda,
but
Dion. But
I guess
what
so.
what did you think of like that whole storyline of like Penelope and Telemachus, like their whole,
Like
because
Pat,
they're obviously,
yeah.
we knew that going in, it'd be Matt Damon, it'd be the Odysseus and the gang trying to get back
Mhm.
home. That I kind of knew what to expect because I'm familiar with the Odyssey story, so I kind of knew the steps along the way, the obstacles they would have
Mhm.
to face. But like the stuff at home, I didn't know as much about that, so I was really curious to see how that would play out. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like that, I didn't feel like that was like a down part of the movie
Mm,
because I wasn't familiar with the literature. I wasn't sure what was happening. I wasn't sure if he was gonna slither his way in there. Like I wasn't sure if someone was gonna die, if there's gonna be a fight. I didn't know what was gonna happen, like with Odysseus's son and stuff like that. Tom's character. So I was intrigued in that because again, I had no idea where it was going.
yeah, no, I agree with you. I think there was, and I think like the fight that we were just talking about, like with her and her son, about like should he sit on the throne or should she take a new husband? Like would they do? I thought it was really interesting the way they were kind of like fighting each other at some points. Like he wants to be king, but will people respect him? Um, I think it was interesting too. Whenever they keep hosting people, right? Zeus's law. They bring people in. They have these big feasts and stuff, and he's trying to honor that. Like there's a beggar that comes in and he's like, no, we treat him just like anybody else. So he's trying to like honor the values of his dad and like avoiding the suitors trying to like bait him into starting a fight. Like I never thought
Mhm.
of that, but that totally makes sense, right? Like, okay, if he draws on me, then it's fair game. It's a fight to the death.
Yeah.
I can kill him right now, and then there's nobody else in line for the throne. So like that's something he has to avoid, and he does get baited in that one time, but then Penelope saves him at first. So please don't hurt my son. So like he still feels like a child in that moment because she has to say that to save him.
Mhm.
But then he goes off and like kind of finds himself and comes back like a new guy. Like I thought his arc was interesting.
Yeah, it's like it is interesting too because that fine line those guys have to play where it's just like, okay, now she's begging, like, I can't just kill this dude because she still has to pick me. And she's like, well, I'm not going to pick the guy that killed my son.
Yeah.
So then it's like this fine line where if it's like, well, I was defending myself, but then also at the same time, even if you say that, it's like, yeah, I'm
She
still not
knows.
going
Yeah,
to
she's not
pick
an
you.
idiot.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
like they have to play like that fine line. And as they realize later on, it's like, oh, we're going to kill this dude. It's got to be in secret. She's not going to know who did it. I can't kill her. I can't kill him in front of her. Then I'm not going to get picked.
Yeah, that is a good point. And then like Pattinson, he uses that. I feel wrong using actors' names to talk about these characters, but like,
well, I just feel like it's easier because
I know.
I don't want to butcher the name. That's why I'm kind of leaning that way.
Okay, Antinous is his name.
Yeah.
So he uses that as an opportunity to be like, no, be the bigger man. Show him some mercy. Like I'm a good dude. I will
Yeah.
say when he has that conversation with Penelope, and they're like getting close to each other. He's like, Odysseus has been gone a long time. I could be a nice king. It's gonna be great, and I'll be nice to your son, and blah blah blah. And it seemed to me like Penelope was like buying it. Like she
Yeah.
was into it. She was maybe thinking about it until that final line was like, "Oh, unless we have another son," and then she
Yeah.
immediately snatches the handbag like us. Enough of
Yeah,
that. Get out of
you
here.
one too many, Doug. One too
Yeah.
many. Quit while you're ahead.
Yeah. He blew it, man. He had her, and then he blew it. You didn't even have to say that. Like that's down the line. You got to worry about that in the future. You don't have a kid with her. You don't have to mention that right now. Get in the throne and then worry about that.
100%, bro. It's the first date. The date went well. You're driving. She's like, yeah, maybe we should just another time. And he's like, maybe you come upstairs. And she's like, whoa. And he's like, shit, why did I say that? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of girl you think I am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You
I'm
too
a married
early.
woman.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you pulled the trigger way too early. Come on.
Right. He blew that. Were you surprised that he was with that other girl though?
Oh, like Mia Goth's character? Yeah, that did surprise me. I didn't know. That was a nice like mini reveal, I guess, if you want to do like a mini surprise, because it just seemed like she was just maybe I should have expected it because it was Mia Goth's character, that he probably like no one's gonna have a little something extra for her, because otherwise like it could have just been anybody else. Could have been in that role. Could have just been an unknown or something like that.
Yeah,
but
that's a good point.
But I didn't expect it. That's for sure.
No, I mean there were so many things about this movie that I didn't expect. I mean, I found it funny when Tiresias, like the blind dude, when we see him at first, where they're telling a story about the dog, and he just like picks up the puppy and just like yeets him to the side. I was like, damn,
that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. Like you can't find a better system to deal with the dogs,
or just put him down nicely. Why didn't you just throw him to the side? Like what that wasn't cool, man. I did like though that like. And then at the end, like the dog plays, I wouldn't say he plays a big role in this movie, but he has his own like that's what I was saying. Everything that gets introduced kind of gets like buttoned up and answered by the end of it, which was so great. Like the dog, he's lying on the pile and he's so near death, but like he's waiting for his master to come home. And then when Odysseus comes, like he smells him, like he recognizes him, his tail moves a bit, and then immediately he passes. And we're like, oh, he did it though. He was waiting for his master.
Yeah.
He saw him one last time and then he could finally let go. I love that.
Yeah. No, that was, I like those. I had a point about that too. I like those little button up moments. That was just like a sweet little thing. And it's like the things you said, that like the things that you see at the beginning that you're just like, whatever, why'd they even do that? Like when he got bit by the boar in that story. And then that ends up being a thing where how like one of the servants realizes it's like, oh, it's you. And he's like, hey. It's just like little stuff like that. Where it's like, oh, okay. Because otherwise, you're like, that was just a random story. I don't know. I guess they were showing that just to show like a hunting story, but then it adds even more context. Because it's like, no, that's also going to be a reason why someone recognizes them later.
Yeah, you're right. That was an awesome moment, and it's like sometimes it's a setup that you don't even see coming. Like sometimes in a movie they'll be like, okay, this is something that like clearly we're going to come back to. A character is going to mention this, or like this will be some triumphant moment or whatever. But that story, I think like that was just when the blind guy was talking to his son about the dog, and kind of because that was his hunting dog, right? So he was hunting the boar and then the dog goes after him. So it was just like, okay, we're building this relationship between Odysseus and the dog. And we're kind of showing Odysseus as this like merciful, like kind of like godlike figure, because there's all the people watching him like string his bow and stuff. And we're like, okay, that's what the scene is. And he gets bit. Okay, it happens. And then when that comes back at the end, we're like, oh, snap. You almost forget about that. Like, cause it seems so inconsequential at the time, but it's intentional. And that was great.
Yeah, it is crazy how, I mean, you're still in the theater. So it's not like it's that long ago, but it's just like these little small things that like your brain just registers it and goes away with it. Cause you're so focused on the big plot of everything. Like, oh, what are they going to come across next? Like, how are they going to get home? But it's like you immediately remember. It's like when those things happen, it's like, oh yeah, that's the thing from the beginning. And then you just like, it's just like a little check. It's like scratch this little itch of like, oh, that's a nice little loop just got finished. That is just, that's why you need to pay attention. That's why you can't go to the bathroom.
Yeah, going to the bathroom. I mean, I'm pretty good with that. Like I if I really, really, really have to, like you gotta go, you gotta go. But like I'll hold it in. Sometimes it depends on the movie too, but like I'll hold it in. Sometimes
it's tough though. It is tough, but like to me, I feel like you gotta come ready for this though.
Yeah,
like
if
I'm
going
like
before
the last two Avatar movies, I was like, I'm just not drinking a drink during it. And then with this, it was the same thing. I was like, I'll sip on my thing a little bit, but there's no way I'm crushing my whole drink during this movie and expecting me to be okay.
Yeah, but you got a big bucket of popcorn.
Yeah,
No drink?
and I do. I have a drink, but it's sparingly. Like there was a dude that
Okay.
I saw get up like 2 times. I was like, dog, why'd you even come to this movie? Twice I saw him get up.
Damn. Okay, that's a little much. Why did you even come? You just whole movie's ruined. I feel like if you're with your girl or with a friend or whatever, you come back, you be like, hey, like what did I miss? You know, you get a quick little rundown of maybe if there's something that you missed. It's not the end of the world, but like, but at the
It
same time,
isn't.
if you missed that one scene with the boar, your friend probably wouldn't even
Yeah.
mention that to you. You
No,
know,
it's
like,
true.
hey, by the way,
And
he was hunting a boar and got bitten in the ankle. That'll come back later. Like, no one's gonna know that.
yeah, exactly. No, that's true. Also, the movie's loud as hell, so there's not
Oh
much
my God.
room for whispering. Like, what just happened? Meanwhile, the Cyclops is screaming bloody murder.
Yeah, you're right. There are some moments that are insanely loud in this movie, but I mean, that's also the whole IMAX thing too. Like
No, for
everything's just a
sure.
little bit louder. But I mean, if in some of the moments, like when it's like a high tension, you know, a big storm on the ocean or something, I'm like, like it just you're you feel so tense and scared because this music is blasting down your ears and you're seeing what's happening to these guys. And you're just like, holy shit, this
Oh
is
no,
not
for
good.
sure. No, 100%. And when I say that, I don't even mean that like in a complaining way. I just mean it
Yeah.
in the sense of like you're just not whispering to the person beside you much, like to get something across because it's just like
Yeah.
wait till the scene's over. I cannot hear you, like at all. Like
It'd
we
be
have
one of
to.
those things where like there's a loud scene and then like you're trying to like yell to the guy what he missed, and then like it'll immediately cut to like Odysseus and Athena having a little conversation, and you'll just be the one
Yeah.
guy in the theater like his ankle got bit by a boar. Oh, sorry everybody. You know what I mean? You don't want that to happen.
No, no, exactly. That actually reminds me to craziness. We're talking about how loud it is in there. There was a family that came in there with like this had to be like a 2-year-old child. And I was like, first of all, I didn't think they'd even let you bring in a 2-year-old to an R-rated film. And second of all, you're obliterating this kid's ears.
Yeah. Did they have like
Absolutely
earmuffs
obliterating.
or like anything?
Not that I saw. I wasn't right beside them, but I saw them coming. It was just the craziest when like the movie was starting. I saw a woman come in holding a child. I was like, I don't know if this kid's gonna have a fun experience for many reasons. It's gonna be loud and it's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
It's a
seeing
terrifying
people.
movie for a child.
Yeah. That's not a good idea. Or maybe they couldn't find a babysitter and they're like, hey, well, it's freaking Nolan's The Odyssey. What do you want me to miss it?
yeah, you're gonna learn young. You're gonna see cinema today.
Yeah, figure
Not
it
gonna
out.
want to watch a Pixar movie after this.
Yeah. They're not gonna understand nothing in this movie though. Cause I mean, like
No.
I said, like it makes you think. It's not like crazy overwritten, but it does
Yeah.
make you think. Like the
Yeah, well, I think
like
just more
the
so just like the intensity of the movie is just gonna be a lot for a kid. I
Yeah.
feel like.
True. Yeah. But I mean, like something that made you think was like when we find out about Antinus's like shame, like the little stick, you know, that he found that
Mhm.
when Sennar or whoever it was that like
Yeah.
that took his place when they go to hell, and she has this stick or he has this stick and he's like he you know, we swap places basically, and you were the one that told him no, he can't go, and like that was just another wrinkle that I did not see coming.
Yeah, no, again, it's just these little things and him having these little things to hold on. So it makes you like, oh, he can show this later to prove that. Yeah,
Yeah.
even like the little pin that Penelope gave him too. It's like a little pin to recognize to be like, oh yeah, that's him. Because I mean, he doesn't really look that much different. Like he just got a big gray beard. His face really hasn't changed that much, but obviously, like having the cloak and everything, it hides his
Yeah.
identity. But if you just do a face reveal, people are like, "Oh yeah, it's Odysseus. You look a little gray, but I see you in there."
Well, that's why like the servant recognized him right away. Like as soon as she saw the
Yeah,
ankle thing, she looked at his face. It was like, oh, that's you. The only other guy that would have known him was the blind guy, but he's a blind guy.
yeah,
So, you know, I was wondering if he like his
yeah.
would have like tipped him off like when he came in the room and
That's what I
was
was
like,
thinking
"Hey,
too.
what's up?" But he didn't. I thought he was gonna be, oh, it's you, but I mean, it's been like 30 years, so I don't blame the guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like even if you know someone, if you haven't heard their voice in in like 20, 30 years, I think you just give them some leeway that like, whoa, dog, you don't recognize my voice? It's like, come
Yeah,
on, how long has it been?
yeah, I think that's fair. Um, but yeah, Sinon is the name. Sinon tells him about Antinous'
Okay, so on.
shame. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
another. And also in that scene in Hell, when Agamemnon tells him about his wife killing him, and that like, oh, you should like when you go back, like sneak in, like don't just blow
Yeah.
down the front door. Like that was another wrinkle that I was like, my whole thought process was going into this was like, okay, Odysseus, he's gonna, if he gets back home, I expected him to get back home. So like, okay, when he gets back home,
Mm.
he's gonna come in and be like, I'm back, baby, basically, and like all of you
Yeah,
suitors, get the hell out of here. I'm taking my throne back, and like, but when he threw in this wrinkle and he's like, no, go be like, go in disguise, like be a secret. And when he did it, that was just another thing that I was like, it got me so excited for when that happened. I was like, oh, so when he gets home, it's not just going to be like a sweet arriving. Like I didn't, another layer to the story that I just did not see coming. It
yeah,
blew
no,
me
I
away.
absolutely love that. I absolutely love that direction of it too, because it really builds that tension. Because it's like we all know going in, it's like that's the guy. You're just waiting for things to pop off. It's that one moment where it's that thing where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna do my reveal right now, or like like is someone gonna realize, is someone gonna catch on? So like I just loved that because I was just like, oh, okay, like I don't know where this is going. Again, someone that hasn't read the book, so like again, I don't even know if that whole aspect was faithful to the book or not, but I was just on the edge of my seat because I was excited to see how he was going to get revealed.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do it. Um, when they have that when he has that conversation after the dinner with Penelope, the servant
Yeah.
comes like she wants to talk to you after. I figured he would like show up and be like, "Sup, baby, I'm back." You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
nah, he's like he takes this opportunity because I guess he wants to set up later like her trial, so there'd be no
Mhm.
weapons, so it'd be like a fair fight. Because if he has to fight everybody with their weapons and stuff, then just has no chance. But like,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah, that's when I thought the reveal was gonna come, but I thought it was interesting that it didn't go that direction.
No, yeah, 100%. And like even just like that loop again, like that whole thing, that's another thing, the whole thing with the bow and arrow too, where like only he
Mhm.
could bend it. That's like just a nice another callback from the beginning where it's like, okay, they're just showing like how like handy he is and like how he knows the tricks and how to bend that. And you just think that's just a cool thing they're gonna show at the beginning. But the fact that there was the whole setup and she's like, this is whoever can do this is gonna be, I'm like, then you're like, oh, okay. And you just love the moment too, where they're all just shitting on him, like, okay, yeah, this beggar's gonna do it. Oh, looking like
Yeah.
you're having a little trouble there, buddy. Like, I'm just like, you just wait, bro. You just wait.
Yeah, yeah, because we all know it's him, so we're just waiting for it to happen. I will say the bow thing, like, I don't know if it's meant to be a surprise necessarily. It is a great touch, but that I knew from the story, like that's classic to the story that
Oh,
only he
okay.
can string the bow, and because the way I knew it though was that his son, he wanted to be king, so and Odysseus was basically like, when you can string this bow, then you can be king.
Mm.
So that's kind of the direction I thought it was going to go. But then
Okay.
Penelope ended up doing the trial and let everybody try it. And whoever can string this bow, shoot the arrow, will be my husband. So it didn't have anything to do with the son at all. But I did know that the bow, like Odysseus's bow, stringing the bow, that's like, that's his thing. So
Okay. Yeah,
I
I didn't
saw
know
that
that.
coming, but it's still cool.
No, it is really cool. That's interesting too. That's thought where like, oh yeah, I guess he could have done the whole son thing, like just have the son take over, do like a next generation pass on kind of thing. Just through those moments, or maybe I didn't know, maybe Odysseus was gonna die. Like I literally had no idea. So like I was really
Yeah.
just like whatever direction's gonna happen here, I'll be okay with, because I don't have anything to hold back on. Like that's not how you're supposed to do it in the. I had no idea. So
Yeah. Um, Did you want to go through kind of like each stop? I'm curious to hear like your thoughts on each stop. So like, if you want to start with the
yeah, I had a
Cyclops,
couple
like, what'd you
notes
think?
on. Yeah, that was actually that's literally my first thing I was gonna ask you. Like, I was like,
Well, it was the first
what'd
one.
you think
So,
of the look? What'd you think of the look of the Cyclops?
hmm. I mean, we saw him in the trailer, and I thought he was like definitely he's bigger than I expected. And
Mhm.
like the fact that his like nose is to the side, like I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Like his disfigured face, like I it I feel like it fits Nolan's thing of like kind of realistic. Like he normally
Mhm.
goes with like a more grounded approach to these kind of things, not super campy. So like though just the way his like skin, like his wrinkled skin, like tall skinny body, um but like the sound of him chewing was freaking
Oh yeah.
bone tingling. Like, oh my god, when he bit the dude and started eating him, and then when they find out he can talk, they're like, wait, why wasn't he
Oh
talking
yeah.
before? Or like, do you talk to ants? I was like, oh, okay, that's tough.
Yeah, that was a tough line. I actually didn't see that trailer that you're talking about. I never
Oh,
saw
okay.
the Cyclops in the trailer. So that was literally like my first. I think I saw the Giants and
Mm,
maybe one of the trailers, but I never saw the Cyclops. So that was literally my first time seeing him. And yeah, to your point, I kind of got like Attack on Titan type of vibe, especially and then grabbing someone and biting their head
yeah,
off. I was like,
true.
oh, this is very much like a Attack on Titan kind of vibes. And it was interesting too, even like the eye was kind of like it was like sideways. It was
Right.
like a
Yeah. Yeah.
sideways blink versus just being like just like a one eye in the center and just being ginormous sometimes. Sometimes that's the approach people go with, just like one giant eye. It was kind of just
Mm-hmm.
like it looked like a normal size and it was kind of just on its side, which was
Yeah.
interesting look to me.
Did you think it was cool though the way they like tied the straw like on their back so they could like he could when he was feeling them like he couldn't feel their armor or whatever, he thought they were just sheep. I thought that was cool. And it's actually different. That this is what I was saying was like this is the way
Mhm.
they escaped is different than in this original story as I know it. Again, I'm not super like an expert on it, but I am aware of it.
What
And
do you
the way that
remember?
yeah, the way that they did it was like because the Cyclops talks to them,
Yeah.
and there's multiple Cyclops on this island, so they get trapped in the cave, and Odysseus, when the Cyclops asks him his name, says his name is Nobody, and
Mhm.
then they do the eye poke like the flaming stake in the eye. They do that, and then the Cyclops like calls out, and I think he calls out to Poseidon because he's Poseidon's son, right?
Mhm.
And then and the other Cyclops and they're like, what's happening? He's like, I'm being attacked. They're like, who's attacking you? He says, nobody's attacking me. So they're all like, oh, nobody's attacking you. So it's like a trick, like he tricks him because he
Okay.
thinks his name is Nobody. So he says nobody's
Mm.
attacking me. So they're like, oh, okay, he's actually fine. He's just and then they just walk out. I think
Okay.
I may have not got the details exactly right on that, but it's something like that.
Yeah, that's the Scots version, That's Scots
Yeah.
version of the Odyssey. I'll take that as what it is because I can't correct you. So that is interesting. That I didn't know that there was more giant more Cyclops on that island. I guess it makes sense. When he talks to like, is he just talking normal English or is it kind of like broken from what you remember?
um, no, I think it's pretty normal.
That's
I
pretty
mean,
normal.
it
Okay.
would have been in Greek like originally, but so
Yeah. No.
I think
Exactly.
it's normal.
I thought it was an interesting depiction of the Cyclops, and I saw Nolan say in an interview, like this is like the one small thing. It was like a 30-second video of him saying that like he kind of took inspiration from like what Del Toro does with his monsters in the sense of like they're not just like this nonsensical, like grueling, just like this monster. You could tell that there was like some thought with him. It seemed like okay. There's more than meets the eye. This isn't just like some dumb bumbling monster that's only thought is to kill. It's like, oh, this is a dude that does like he cares for these sheep, he lets them out, and he makes cheese. There's something else
Right.
going on here,
Yeah.
and without explaining it, but you just realize, okay, there's something more to this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's smarter than just like this big giant buffoon see thing, eat thing. Like, because he would be doing that with the
Yeah.
sheep if that's what he was. But no, he's like, I open in the cave every day. They go out, they graze, they come back in. So yeah, he takes care of his sheep and the cheese. I wasn't expecting that. He even said it
Yeah, I
was
mean,
good.
which is kind of
He
like,
tries it.
yeah, which is crazy just to try random cheese. Like that, you could literally that could kill you. And also, like, it is also just like an interesting touch of like this Cyclops that makes his own cheese, where it's just like, is he clearly he's not like vegan or vegetarian? He'll just chew on humans. What's this
Yeah.
thing with the sheep? Why is he not want to eat the sheep? I don't know. I'm
Maybe he
intrigued.
does. Maybe he does. Like it's a mixed diet of meat and cheese, but he
Mm.
doesn't just. But like he does it in a way that he can control the population. Because if he just eats them all, then they're all gone, right? But if he's like, no, I'll take
Yeah,
one every now and again, and I don't know.
that's fair. And then another one I wanted to ask you about again with the look is just we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, just like the giants, like that whole vibe of the scene with the giants, the look of them, the whole setup. Like, what do you have some thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean the look of them I think was cool. Their armor was cool.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I didn't love the scene just because I mean the other ones they kind of have to figure out what the problem is and then
Mm.
figure out a way to escape. And with this one, they just kind of like show up. They see this who they think is a man, then flips around. We realize it's a kid, right? Then the kid turns around crying. And then the entire army is just ready to go like that. Like they were all just sitting there just around the corner in full armor, ready to just fight. Like, well, how did that happen? And then we get a little bit of I mean, the fight scene was pretty crazy, like throwing dudes through
Yeah.
trees. That other
Oh my
group of guys
goodness.
got trapped and then they all died. Like the fight was pretty crazy, but like that's kind of all it was. You just show up, see the giants, run away, leave. Like there wasn't much to the scene.
Yeah, that is a good point. It's very much like we need some action in here. Let's throw a little.
Yeah.
Let's get some like because I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe is there a longer version of this? Probably not, just because it was shot on film. So I think they're trying to use every single thing that they got, and they're not gonna try to just like do some random stuff and be like, yeah, maybe this will make it. This will no. I think everything is. Well, I'm sure there was some cuts, but
Yeah.
I see your point on that. There definitely could have been more of a build up because it was like you said, it was comical. It's literally just like open the door. Oh nope, 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 and then just
Yeah.
start running away. And then they're just like like oh
Yeah.
shit, like the whole neighborhood is chasing them
Instantly. Yeah. That yeah,
instantly.
I didn't love that as much. You're right. Like it was just if it was just for cool action, then mission accomplished. Like it was cool action and a way to kill off like 2/3 of his crew. So
Yeah,
that's fair too. And then we get to Cersei, the witch. That was a cool scene.
yeah.
What do you think of that one?
No, that was another one I wasn't familiar with too. Again, I got the book right here. Again, never
Mm.
not capping. Haven't read it. It's just decoration. But I actually that's a character I had no idea about. Like there's a lot of these
Mm.
other myths and like gods and stuff like that I've obviously heard of, but I've never heard of her and I didn't know her backstory. So like when they came up to her, like there was nothing. Like, did you know what was about to happen to
I
them?
forgot about her. So I did clue in kind of like before the reveal that she's turning people to animals, but not right
Mm,
away. So when they're like climbing up the hill and we see like a lion and a tiger and a cheetah, I was like, oh, that's what's going on here because
yeah.
I forgot. And then she goes up and she's scared at first, right? And then she offers them food. But as soon as they started, like the way that they were eating, they were like they were going in on that food. And
Yeah.
obviously, we know that they were looking for food. They're starving. But I was like,
Yeah.
okay, no, the food is like, um, not poison, but like bewitched or whatever. And
Yeah.
then I remembered what it was. But like the effects of her like
Oh
molding their
my god.
faces, that
Yeah, that
was
was
insane,
insane. Yeah, that
insane,
was
dude.
creative. That was a really creative way to turn them because you could have just done like a transformation thing, like their nose just get bigger on their own, or like
Yeah.
you do like a cut scene, then suddenly like they're half pig and then they're full pig. But having her like, especially like she went in a dude's mouth and just I was like, oh, it's just so violating.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was really cool. I actually really
Absolutely
liked that.
insane.
And then when he finds out, right, there's that deer. He shoots him, and then he sees it's a human body. So he
Yeah.
realizes he goes running up, and then at that point, I'm just like, okay, how is he gonna get out of this? Like
Mhm.
he knows that these pigs are his men, but he can't do anything about it. He's not a wizard,
Yeah.
right? So he has to get her to change them back. So I was just really like locked, like on the edge of my seat, just
Oh,
wondering
same.
how is he going to get out of this. She offers him the bowl of soup. I didn't expect him to eat it because I figured, okay, he knows that this is
Yeah.
something's wrong here. And then the whole thing with the bird, I was like, okay, who's the bird is obviously somebody, but we don't know who. I don't know who the like lion and cheetah and panther. I don't know who those people are, but like the bird we know is his sister. Are those that the rest of her family or like? But I was just locked in to see like how is he gonna get out of this?
Yeah, no, that scene was built up so well. Like you said, like he knew that there was something up, but again, I think he was like, is it the food though? Like, can I eat this?
Mm,
Because again, he's just like everyone else, he's starving. He's like, maybe I could eat this. Maybe it's something else she's gonna do to me. So I think there's still a little part of him that was, at least from my perspective. Maybe it was in the book. It says no, he knew exactly this whole time. But from my perspective, I was like, maybe he doesn't know. And then also the tension of like the bird just like like cawing, and then the pig just hitting against the door. They're like basically all saying like, "Yo, don't eat it,
don't
don't
do
eat
it.
it."
Yeah,
But
yeah, don't do it.
yeah, for him, he's just like they're just animals acting up. Like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I didn't expect him to eat
So
it
intense.
because I feel like if you go in there knowing that okay, this is a witch that turned like or a goddess or something, I I just got to be very wary of everything, right? She offers me
Yeah,
up a bowl of food, I'm wary about that. And she's like really pushing it like, "What? You're starving. You don't want to eat?" You know what I mean? So
yeah,
to me I was like, "Nah, he's a smart guy. He came up with the Trojan horse, bro.
yeah.
He's not just going to eat this willy-nilly."
No, yeah, 100%,
But that
hundred
didn't
percent.
mean that
And
I knew he was gonna choke out the bird and be like, unless I like I didn't see that coming.
oh yeah, no, me neither. And like that was another like she got the knife on his neck. He's like, "Who is this bird to you?" And she's like,
Mm,
"Is your mom, your brother, your sister?" And he's like, "It's my sister." And I was like, "Damn, like." Because his sister is still like not messing with her. Like, yo, don't eat that, man. She's gonna turn you into this just like me. I think every other guy is a man based off like that. Well, I looked her up as like as she turns men mostly just into creatures and stuff like that. So I
yeah.
guess that's what that is. But no, that scene was great.
I
That
mean,
scene was
that's
great.
her
I don't
whole
know.
thing,
Yeah,
right? She's
yeah,
like, oh, they like the men. Like I actually removed their disguise. They are pigs, They come and
yeah,
they eat and they pillage and they do all this stuff. Like
yeah.
this is what men are. So she's obviously maybe that's the left wing propaganda that guys talk about. He just hates men, just hating
Yeah,
on
I
men.
mean the what's it called? Skyla is the same thing too, like that monster that like when they like avoided the whirlpool and they went.
Oh
I
yeah,
looked
yeah.
that up too because I was like, I don't know what that thing is, and it's a man-eating monster. So there's another that's another thing that hey that's not left-wing propaganda. That's to the source of the material. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that one we don't get like context on. We don't know like
no,
any of it's just a monster. I mean, we do get like the um what do you call it? Like the when like he foresees it, the guy when they go into hell and then he gives
oh
him the
yeah,
prophecy. Prophecy is the word I'm
hmm
looking for.
Hades. Yeah, when Hades
Yeah.
gives him the
So like I mean that scene was crazy too. Just the fact that like,
yeah,
when Sinon does tell them about Antinous' thing, and then Agamemnon tells him about his wife. That stuff was great. And then we get that prophecy, which again, just kind of like more build up when he's like, okay, when this prophecy is not for your men's ears. So he sends them away, and we're like,
yeah.
what's he gonna tell them?
Yeah, I know.
Then he tells them,
That's not a
you
good
go,
sign.
yeah, go past the sirens, and if you go into the whirlpool, you're all gonna die. And then when you get to this island, if you go this way, then 6 of you will die. Then when you go to the island, don't let them eat the sheep and blah blah blah. Like all of this stuff is like, okay, we're gonna see that. So I want to see what
Yeah.
actually happens when we get there. And when he's asking like, why do you care so much about these men versus all the men that you already lost? Because that was another interesting wrinkle that they introduced was like the honoring the fallen. Like that, like
Yeah.
again, there's just like another thing that Odysseus has to deal with.
Mhm.
And again comes back at the end where he's like, okay, when you return home, go west and honor your men doing that. But like the fact that his men kind of turn on him because he's not doing that, and one like
Yeah.
because the way that they've gone, they've been losing people left and right. So they're kind of like turn on him in some situations. So like just more conflict for him to deal with. There was so much meat on the bone of this story. It was so good, dude.
Oh yeah. Like yeah, you like you stick with him because like you understand like the complexity of all his decisions. Because even that line in itself, I'd be so frustrated. Be like, who says I care about these men more than the other? Like I didn't want any of these
Yeah.
guys to die. Like I don't
Right.
want anybody to die. Like I'm trying to make the best decision, and then guys are dying. And if you're telling me we all die or 6 guys die, I'm gonna go with 6. Like,
Right.
because like I'm not just gonna go like, yeah, let's just all just go. Is there a chance we could all make? He's like, no, they're all gonna die. He's just like, well, I'm gonna still kind of push through and hope for the best because you're telling me they're all gonna
Right.
die anyway.
Yeah.
So
Why not?
like, what else can I do?
Yeah. And that was interesting when they go past the sirens, and then they put like the wax in their ears. They're all
Earwax.
doing it.
Yeah.
And then when his right hand man, when he does it, he puts one in, the sound in the theater mutes on that side. Then he puts the other one,
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
the
yeah,
sound
I
in the
love
theater
that.
mutes completely. That was a dope
No,
little touch.
that was a good touch. And just him freaking he's like, yo, don't untie
Losing
me
it.
no matter what it is. I want to hear
Yeah.
it. He's just bugging. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. That was talk about an acting performance. Him just free, absolutely bugging out. I don't know what they
Yeah.
did. I wonder what I'm now. I'm imagining what the behind the scenes is like. It's like play me something like so I can react to something. You know, everyone's just mute on set, or it's like this is I just got to bug out to nothing.
I mean, yeah, the sound in the movie is muted, so you could do whatever you want to
Yeah.
Matt Damon, like when he's reacting to this. Maybe they played like, I don't know, they played like
Well, they got Travis Scott on set. Yo, play Fiend. Yo, just let me bug out.
play
Let me just let me rage out to Fiend right quick.
I was going the other way. I was like, maybe they made it like an AI video of his wife cheating on him or something, just so he
Oh
could
my
like
God.
watch that and freak the hell out.
Why is that necessarily the opposite of Fiend?
I don't know, because Fiend is like I'm bumping, like I'm vibing to this music. It's a positive thing.
Maybe
The
it's
other thing is
both.
like,
Play that video, and then also play Fiend on top of
or
it.
it's an AI video of Travis Scott cheating on his like
Oh
doing his wife. That's what
Two?
two Fiend. That's what it was.
All right, that's what it is. This again, another version of Scott's Odyssey.
That's what it was, bro. I mean,
That's
Odysseus says he was like, they tell you about everything you ever wanted and everything you can't have and all this stuff. That's lies.
yeah. That's interesting. I literally thought the sirens calling was literally just like a lust thing. It's like they
Yeah.
make you lust for them, and that's literally that's all I thought it was. So it was just like, oh man, those beautiful women are screaming to me or whatever. I gotta go over. That's literally all I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Because that's the classic like mermaid thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
No,
good.
for
I mean, there
sure.
is the one dude that like took the wax off and that's what he
Oh
did.
yeah. Yeah, no, he bugged out. I thought we're gonna see what was gonna happen to him. I mean, they didn't shy away from
Yeah.
other people's deaths, so but I guess that one they're like, hey, let's like because we don't really see the sirens that much. You kind of see like a little you see them in the
Right.
distance. I guess that's all they wanted to deal with there. There's a lot of
Maybe
other things that play.
they spent a lot of money on, the Trojan War and a whole lot of other stuff. They maybe saved a few bucks there. Let's not kill this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's fair. Just like Skyla too. Like they didn't really like you said, we didn't get much. It was just like grab, boom, move on.
Gone.
We're not even
Yeah.
really get into that. There's only
Yeah.
so much. Like that was obviously CGI, I assume. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then so the Trojan, I guess, like when we get that call back when
yeah.
Telemachus goes to see John Bernthal's character. I'm not even gonna try.
Okay, yeah.
I gotta.
But I saw it, bro, like-
Menelaus is his name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What'd you think of like when he tells him the story of like the from the inside and like we get to see the whole thing?
You know, that's the craziest part because that's obviously such a big part of the movie. But because there was so much going on, like I literally just immersed myself in the movie. I forgot we were gonna even get that. I was like, oh yeah, we haven't got the Trojan part yet. So like when they kept going back to it, I'm like, oh, we're gonna get this actual and I like the buildup of it too, like them in it. You know what I mean? You get the inside view of it. It's the long dragging of it, bringing it all into the what's it called, the palace and everything. Yeah, every little pull.
Yeah.
They got the logs to get it going, everything. Because they could have just cut all that. It could have been like, all right, boom, now it's in here, and let's
Right.
cut to them slowly coming out of there and then doing the whole what's it called, attack. And
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. The piss and shit thing stuck with me though. I was like, oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, like they're in there for days. Then like I thought it was cool though, like it's just a classic way. Like if you think about it, like, okay, like if we were to do this in real life, how can we make this real? A bunch of dudes in this horse, we gotta get pulled. One thing, like you said, seeing them drag, like again, they did that in real life. There was hundreds of extras on a beach
Yeah.
pulling this giant horse, like that's cool. But then also like the dude like stabbing it and
Yeah.
like miss. Then they stab the one dude and they have to like one,
Yeah,
cover his
grab
mouth
it.
so that he doesn't yell, and then yeah, grab it with a claw so there's no blood on it. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like I never thought of
Yeah.
that, but that's just a cool little touch.
No, yeah, no, I thought it was, and I wasn't sure how they were gonna do the escape too. Like, I wasn't sure if it was gonna be like I just all plop out and try. I didn't know it was gonna be like this silent
Mm.
little thing, and they kind of make their way through. So I liked that approach to it too. It felt very. Now I almost felt like I was back in like some kind of spy, like Jason Bourne type movie. Just seeing him slowly scale down, I'm like, okay, like what this
Yeah,
is. This was sick, and just like that build of them like slowly opening the
the
gate.
gate.
It's like, oh, they're
Yeah,
gonna make it in time, and they're gonna make it in time, and then it's just like boom, open, and then just all bedlam after that.
yeah, and then they open the gate, and Agamemnon is just standing there right in the middle of the
Oh yeah,
doorway.
I
I was
know.
like, Jesus Christ, that's tough. That was so freaking tough, dude.
Oh yeah, it's
And
so
then
tough.
everybody comes in, and then we just the visuals of this too. Like I always love that visual in a movie when it's just like it's nighttime and we have fire, just like that yellow
Yeah,
warm glow. It always looks good, but against like the stone walls of the city and everything, like, and you just see the mayhem of people running. I mean, you don't get to see it all until later when
yeah,
Odysseus is talking to Penelope, and like, and then we get the flashbacks of like they're killing like women and innocent people,
yeah,
and like they're doing all the bad stuff. You don't really see that in the first one, I guess, because like if you think about it, this is Menelaus telling this to Tom's character, his Odysseus' son. So I guess he just left that stuff out, but
yeah,
like that just adds that context later on. Is like, oh, like there was the big, we won the war, everything's great, we're heroes, and then Odysseus is like, nah, we suck.
yeah. Which is like it's a nice like reveal, and also just like kind of like a build up, because we know we're gonna get the full thing later. So it's
Mm,
like, oh, what? Just like, when are we gonna get it? And then them slow, and then kind of like showing like the little teases of the fight, and it's like, okay, you're gonna get the full thing later. So like, yeah, I like how they handled that too.
yeah, and then I guess like the last thing is the final scene, bro. Like when he reveals himself, comes in, like we said, he strings the bow, plucks it, like it makes that sound like the boom,
Yeah.
and freaking Penelope looks back. That sound hit her like a back shot, bro. Like that went up her spine, and she was just like, oh, "That's my man. He has returned." Like she just looked back, she's like, no way. And then we get a pretty dope fight. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the big
No,
fight?
we do. I think I know. I think the fight was awesome. I mean, I I said like this funny line to Eloise, like once, especially when he started getting the bow and everything. I was like, who do you got, Odysseus or William Tell? You.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'll probably take Odysseus just because I think he's got more of the hands
Yeah,
than
this dude
our
fought a
Sir
room of like
William.
50 dudes.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, that was tough. It was kind of like I've seen people online comparing it to like a John Wick type thing, where definitely
Mm,
does feel like that. Like he's just going full one man, one versus 100 or whatever, one versus 50 or whatever it is. How many people in the room? But no, I thought that was fun. There's one specific hit that really stuck out with me, is like the double axe, and when he took that, he just
mm.
fucking leveled that one
Swinging
dude.
around. Oh man.
And like, yeah, yeah, just went flying across the room. Like, okay, now he turned into Rock from Fast and Furious. Like, he's just dummying people.
Yeah, he's doing it all, man. Because I mean, because I was thinking when because the whole setup, right? He's like, okay, no, I'm gonna make sure I have a weapon because it's gonna be the bow thing. I'm gonna have my bow. No one else
Yeah,
is gonna have weapons. But like, you don't have enough arrows for all of these dudes. So I was like,
no,
okay, how are they gonna do this? I was like, all those axes are there. Are they gonna start grabbing it? And they do. And then like that's just all part of the fight. There's portions of the fight where he starts losing, then he gets the upper hand again, which was really cool. I think when he like Tom, when he's fighting upstairs with the other guy trying to like keep the weapons out, I was interested in that. Like he gets his moment to like, because we saw him sword fighting at the beginning with Mentor and like constantly losing. He's learning from the blind guy. And then he kind of kills the guy in the same way that we saw him do it earlier. So it's like, okay, that's when he learned it. Now he gets to do that. That was pretty cool. And just the
mhm.
fact that like Antinous through this fight was a bitch again. Like throughout the whole movie,
Yeah, no.
that's his character, right? Like the fact that he's just hiding the whole time, yelling at people like, "Get the spears, get the shields!" Like
Yeah,
it's like, get in the fight, bro. Come on now.
yeah, no, yeah. He was Rob protect. Sorry, he played that character so well, just being so spineless and being so wimpy.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even try with the bow. Like he was just like, "Ah, I'm not gonna do that." Like there's the fact he just and then yeah, hiding around the corner, like you said, screaming tasks at people. It was just yeah, he was great. It was satisfying when he
Yeah.
got.
Yeah, that's what he's in the movie to do, and that's exactly what he did, which was great. But and then we finally he even got like a Odysseus, like a Wolverine almost, like with the arrows sticking out of him when he's just standing there. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, god
No,
damn,
that's
you look tough as hell, dude.
no, he really did. And again, with me not knowing the context of the story, I was like, "Oh, does he die at the end of the story?"
That's what
I
I was
was
just
like,
about
"This
to
guy."
ask you. Do you think he was going to?
I did, and like I wasn't sure if it was like, is this a thing that is actually true to the story? Is Nolan doing something different here that's going to make people very angry and and killing
Mm,
him off? So I was like, I didn't know where it was going, but yeah, I did think he was gonna die.
yeah, I really didn't know what to expect because he does this whole fight, falls into his wife's arms, and it seems like he's dying, and she's
Yeah,
like no, you can't die on me now. So like if you look at it from the angle of like he made his way back home, he made his way back to his wife, like he did the thing, he gave her the little pin back that she gave to him. He did it. So it's like you can like let go now, like you can die. But one, I didn't want to see that because I
yeah,
like Odysseus. This guy's I just saw him kick ass for 2.5 hours. And if you think about it too, he's like, no, I still got one more thing to do. I still have to honor my men, right?
Mhm.
Like I couldn't bury them all along the way. So I still have to ride west into the sunset and do what the guy told him to do to honor his men. So like he would have failed in that sense, and Odysseus just does not fail. So I was like, he
Yeah,
can't he can't die here. But I
yeah.
I wasn't sure he could have.
Yeah, no, he could have. No, it's true. No, it was a nice little at least misdirection for me because I had no
Yeah.
idea. And again, I was thinking in my head, I was like, I don't know what Nolan, what kind of choice he's gonna make because he's throughout this whole movie he's made a lot of different choices. So like this could have been another one for him. So I definitely was like on the edge of my seat, like, oh, what's gonna happen next?
There was a lot of moments where I was just on the edge of my seat wondering what's going to happen next. This movie was freaking awesome, man. The fact that
Oh
like
man, it was
one of
awesome.
the highly anticipated movies in like of recent memory, and it exceeded our expectations. I mean, not necessarily. Some people have different levels of
Yeah,
expectations, but for me, like I came in with pretty high expectations because it's Nolan. But I guess, like I said, like I wasn't sure exactly where stuff was going to come from that I'd be really excited about. But that almost makes it better that like there was so much that I didn't expect in this movie that just made it so awesome.
yeah, no, that is the craziest part to me too, where it's just like sometimes I almost get upset. Like where I'm just like, man, my expectations are so high. Like I gotta relax a little bit. Like I
Yeah.
don't like I but it's one of those things. Like he does this also too. That's the balls with it. Like he's buy your tickets a year ahead. You know what I mean? Like all these
Yeah.
posters coming out. Like he's building so much anticipation for it. You know what I mean? We still haven't even gotten an Avengers trailer yet. This guy was dropping teasers for this movie a year ago. You know what I mean? It's just like
We've gotten
you
like
there's gonna
14
be
Avengers trailers. What are you talking about?
what? No, but like an
Avengers?
official one, like a big like official one. That movie's coming out in December. We got a Dune trailer. You know what I mean? That movie's coming out the same day, and we're getting all this stuff for that. Avengers, I feel
That
like it's kind of
yeah.
just like they're just doing these little drops. These like little 5 seconds, here little 10 seconds, because I don't know how strong they feel about it. To be honest, we're
Yeah, I
getting
don't have a
stuff
lot of
for
hope for Avengers. Dune though is one where like I'm what you're describing where I'm like I have crazy high expectations. I think
yeah.
I love the first two. The trailers look awesome. I love Denis Villeneuve. I love everything about this movie. I have so high expectations. I like
Oh,
and I think it'll deliver, man, but like
yeah,
I almost
same.
got to like tamp myself down a little bit.
Yeah, you feel that way, but at the end of the day, it's in Denis and in Nolan you
Timmy,
trust. Yeah.
Zendaya.
Well, no, I just mean I was just talking about the two directors now. Like,
Mm,
Nolan, you trust, and Denis, you trust. Can you say that about every director? Like,
no.
obviously, Nolan and Denis are a different level, but now this is just me just asking more of like a general question. Like, I know how I feel about it. I'm kind of curious with you. Like, do you have directors that you are look forward to? Like it's more so because to me, with this, for example, the last two movies, if I heard an Oppenheimer movie was coming out and it was gonna be 3 hours, I would not be excited for it. I'd wait for people to
Yeah.
tell me to go, you should go see it, and then maybe I'll check it out. If there was an Odyssey movie coming out and Christopher Nolan was not the director, I would not be seeing this opening weekend with a rush because I'd be like, all right, that's cool. I'll see it eventually. It's because it's Nolan. So like, is there
Mm.
other directors for you where it's just like, oh, this director's making a movie I'm excited for? Like, I don't really care what it's about necessarily, but I have faith in this director or I'm interested in their films. Like, do you have any other people?
Yeah, I mean, now that with Obsession just coming out, Curry Barker I think is on that list. Whatever he puts out next, I'm very interested to
Yeah.
see. Similar to like Zach Kreger with Weapons last year, I'm very interested to see what happens next for him. And Tarantino was always on that list. Who knows when or if we're even going to get another movie from that guy? He's waited so long. But a lot of the big names too. Like if I suppose some of the big names, I'm not like no matter what, I'm going to their movie. But like
Yeah.
I will be interested, and like the bar is low for me to want to go to their movie. You know what I mean? Whereas like
Yeah.
if it's an unknown director, like I gotta watch the trailer and I gotta want to go see it to
No,
go
for
see it.
sure.
But like if Fincher's got a movie coming out and I'm like, maybe it doesn't look amazing, but I could see like
Yeah.
how maybe there's something here, and it's David Fincher, then I'll go check it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel you. And that's tough too, because Fincher's my guy, but and I won't say, I will say not, in my eyes at least, Denis and Nolan's movies aren't perfect. Like I wouldn't say there's misses,
For
but there's
sure.
definitely movies that I was excited to watch for this that I maybe didn't love as much as the other ones. So I'm not gonna act like those guys are perfect. And same thing with Tarantino. There's some movies of his that I don't love as much as his other movies. But when I think of guys that like with Fincher, I didn't love the last movie that he did,
Mm-hmm.
like The Killer. So like now if I heard like, oh, there's
Same.
another Fincher movie coming out, I'd still be excited, but there's not like, oh, this guy doesn't miss. Like
Yeah.
everybody misses. JB is the same thing too. We didn't love his last movie, but I heard if I heard
True.
JB was making another movie, I'm going opening weekend, hundred
Right.
percent.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, I didn't love Mickey 17, so hopefully this next one.
Yeah.
That's kind of, and the same thing with Fitch. Like, I didn't love The Killer that much, but Park Chan Wook is a guy that I loved. No Other Choice, love Decision to Leave. I've loved like a lot of his last. Yorgos is one too. Like
Mhm.
he did like Begonia that I've seen, and I've seen like what's it called, Lobster and Poor Things. Like I've loved a lot of his. Damien Chazelle. He did
Chazelle.
Chazelle's
Love
someone
Chazelle.
I really like.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, Ryan Coogler.
Coogler. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's exciting. There's a lot. I think the Safdie brothers, like I liked Marty Supreme, and then I didn't love the Smashing Machine too much. I thought it was good, but I didn't love it as much. So like I'll still be locked in on seeing what they do next with their kind of stuff. But like those are the kind of people that I think come to mind, which is exciting because it's not like the only people I'm excited about are everybody or people over 50.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you want some
No,
young,
you're
you want
right.
some young blood in there.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think Coogler's probably the leader of like that next generation as of right now.
Yeah.
Who knows who will step up or like where people's career is going to go. But like this guy's given us some gold, and his
Yeah.
last movie was an absolute banger. So whatever he's got going next, like I will be there. That's a great one that I didn't mention. But yeah, 100%. Whatever he's doing next, I don't even need to see the trailer. I will be there,
Yeah.
and I'm going to
100%.
watch it. There was one like Celine's Song was one that was on that
Yeah.
list for me, but then we didn't love Materialist. So like, again, she's probably someone that I put like on that mid tier list where like if I
Yeah.
see her name attached to something, I'm like I have to at least see the trailer, like see
Yeah.
what or like see the synopsis, kind of see what I'm interested in. And again, the bar is low. If it's something that I'm like, okay, I could see where this could be good, like I'll go check it out. But I'm not
Yeah,
like
exactly.
got to be there opening weekend
Yeah,
necessarily.
no, 100%. But yeah, those are the ones that I wrote down a couple of those. I'm probably forgetting some to be honest too.
Yeah.
But at
I'm trying to
least
think,
those are
yeah.
the ones that come to my mind. Where it's just like, oh
Scorsese?
yeah. That's the thing. Like I didn't say Scorsese. I didn't say what's it called, Spielberg. I didn't, because these aren't young
James
bucks. These guys are like in
Cameron,
their
whatever.
70s, and what I'm still be excited to see their movies, but it's just like I don't know if I'm like, oh, I gotta go see it. It's gotta be interesting
Mm-hmm.
because they've made so many movies too. There's some hit and miss. Like Ridley Scott drops a lot. He's got a movie coming out this year, that Dog Stars movie.
Yeah, I'm actually interested. I think it looks pretty good.
It does look interesting, but he drops so much that it's like he's like freaking NBA young boy. You know what I mean? Like, he drops 2 albums a year. It's just like I didn't even realize he was dropping. It's just like there's so much out there. It's not like a Tarantino, because it's like very particular. And same with Nolan. Like they're very good at that. Like 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. Ridley's
Mhm.
drops a lot. He's got a lot of movies. He's got a lot of good. He's got a lot of couple that are like, okay. I haven't seen all his movies, so I haven't seen anything that's bad. But
Yeah, I mean, he's also been in the game a long time. So
yeah,
if you compare him to the old timers per se, like just have a huge filmography. I mean, Nolan's getting up there. He's got a lot of movies too, man.
yeah, he's
Not like an
55.
age
Yeah, he's
necessarily, but I just
55.
mean in like work. Like like because he's consistently released
Oh
every two
yeah,
3 years, so he's built up quite a catalog.
yeah. No, he definitely has. And like that's the beautiful thing about this industry too. It's not sports. Guys, we could get Nolan movies for another freaking 15 years.
Maybe more.
That's the
Who
beauty of
knows?
directors. They just keep going. Clint is just retiring. He's freaking 90.
Yeah,
Clint Eastwood. He's just
but the
did a
question
movie
is,
which yeah.
will Nolan, like, even though if we get 15, 20 more years of Nolan, will they continue to be bangers?
Yeah, that
I
is the
don't think
tough
he's going
thing.
to want to go out on the ocean and film an Odyssey movie when he's,
Yeah, no.
65.
No, definitely. It'd be yeah, the scale might come
Let's stay
down.
on the ground on this one.
Yeah,
You
the
know what
scale
I
might
mean?
come down a bit. No, 100%. Which I think he could relish in. Like you don't have to do something. I mean, because he loves IMAX, I guess he kind of want to do something big.
Yeah,
But
true.
I feel like Oppenheimer probably wouldn't have been that strenuous on the body. At least
No,
so maybe if he wants to do something like that, I don't know. I'm
that's
telling him what
true.
he could do. Hey, Nolan, chill out. Like let's focus on something a little smaller. Keep your body right.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You were just talking you're gonna load manage and Christopher Nolan is how you're doing.
Yeah, basically. You're gonna treat him like quiet, yo. Hey, Scorsese freaking he directs from like a comfy chair now. Like, you just rock with your age, yo. He's like, get that director's chair out of give me your freaking beanbag, bro. My fucking back is
Yeah.
killing me.
Yeah,
Just
true.
yeah,
Hey, maybe in a few years we'll just have like a hover chair that he can just kind of like sit and hover around, and he doesn't
yeah,
even have to walk at all.
that's true.
You just want your brain.
One director slash writer that I feel like it's different genre, but Seth Rogen, he's another good one too. He doesn't really now he's just focused on his TV shows. He might be done with movies, to be honest. Like he does the studio,
He was just
but
in The Invite.
that is true. But that's not his movie. He's just in it.
No.
I just mean him making movies wise. When he was making those comedy movies, I was lining up for all those because his movies are hilarious.
Okay, yeah.
But now I think I don't know. He's still young though. He could come right back. He's only in his 40s. He could come right back to it if he wants. Like I said, Clint's going in his 90s. But
Yeah.
yeah, we went on a little tangent there, but we're talking about all the directors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
of
I don't know
course.
if you
It's
have
a movie
any other
podcast deal.
Yeah,
We're talking
exactly.
about movies.
I don't know if you have any other points before we get into the filmies, any other like last things that we didn't get to, or
Not me. You?
the one thing I thought was interesting is a little tidbit. You know, like how Mentor, like the guy that was helping his son is called, his name was Mentor.
Mhm.
Apparently that's where the term comes from. Like a mentor.
No way.
The origins are from that character.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
It was right.
so that wasn't, I mean, I guess the English language is younger than Greek.
Yeah.
So like that makes sense, but like there was no word for a mentor in English when this story came out. When was the
Maybe it was
original
just
Odyssey
teacher?
actually written?
Oh yeah, I saw it was like something before deep, like I think 300 BC or something like that, or something even something. You just look it up. I don't know why I'm
Homer's
guessing.
ancient Greek epic poem, the Odyssey. Let's see what this says. The Odyssey composed 8th century BC. Good God.
Yeah. That's
I didn't
kind of the
realize it
funny-
was that old.
No, I know. I realized that too. And that's kind of the funny thing too, where people be like, that's not my Odyssey. I'm like, bro, this isn't even Homer's Odyssey, what you read. I'm sure there's been a lot that's changed. There's no way
my God,
this is to the text of what Homer wrote. He's like,
I
what
don't
the fuck?
that-
There's no Cyclops in my shit. What are you guys adding?
Yeah, everybody has two eyes. I never. Yeah. What are you
Yeah,
talking
like
about?
what the hell? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
So-
I have no idea. But that is so okay. So yeah, there definitely wasn't a word for mentor in the. I don't think the English language existed at that time. So fair enough. That's cool. Did not know that.
Yeah. No, I it was right there too. They just kept calling that dude that was a funny thing too, where it's like he has a name. His name is Mentor. I'm like, I thought he was actually like being like rude. I'm like, he doesn't have a name. He's just a job title. I'm like, no, his name is actually Mentor and he's a mentor. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. No, that's oh,
Hey, that's
did
shoe
not know that.
cleaner. I'm like, wait, what the hell? Why are you
Yeah,
calling him?
exactly.
That's what I thought he
Yeah.
was doing. But like, oh no, his name is Mentor, and that's where it comes from. But it's time, Scott. Let's get into the filmies.
Let's do it. All right. Welcome to the Filmmies.
Get it.
This is our award show that we do at the end of every episode. We got 6 awards that we're about to give out, and we're going to jump straight into it with the fit check being the first one. A lot of crazy fits in this movie.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? Who got your fit
Yeah,
check?
no, it was definitely tough, but I ended up giving it to Helena of Troy. And it's for the gold sequence dress that she had. This is basically like the last time we saw her when she was kind of saying bye to Tom and being like, I apologize to your wife for me. And
right.
that immediately I was like, damn, like she came correct for the goodbye, man. Just like a fully gold sequence form fitting gold bracelet. She had the gold the braid cuffs too in there. I was like, I'm rocking with that one just because there was a lot, again, it was tough, but I was like, that's a tough fit.
Yeah, and
Plain and
that
simple.
against her black skin just looks so
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean?
100%,
Like that's
yeah.
like the black and yellow classic combo just looks amazing.
Yeah, no, it was dope. As I went with that. I honorary mentioned to a Negamon, like his.
This sounds like a Digimon, bro. Who are you trying to say? I'm gonna Digivolve too. Helen of Troy.
a Negamon non.
Who are you talking about?
Ben Safdie's character.
Agamemnon.
Yes,
God.
exactly. See, that's why I've been saying people's names, bro.
Fair enough.
And you said you felt wrong saying it. I was just butchering these freaking Greek names, but honorary mention to him because he was looking tough in that. I didn't realize that was him too. That was one of those casting surprises that I was like, oh, that's who's under there? Because man doesn't talk. He doesn't really show his face.
Yeah, he looks huge, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. My goodness.
I don't know if that was like camera tricks that they did, or I was like, because I don't think Benny Safdie's that big.
I don't think he is either, but
I don't know how they did.
He looks his way into 2 Nolan movies, bro. Like he's getting a masterclass for his next couple movies on how to direct films. He's like, yo, I get to act in this and kind of just looking around, but like, all right.
But at the same time, like no, because I was gonna say he's.
They do lower scale stuff. They do.
Well, I was gonna say like because he's not in necessarily some of the big scenes, so he probably wasn't on set like when they were on the water and stuff like that. He probably just
could have
wasn't
stayed
there.
if you wanted.
Maybe, but like he was there for the invasion of Troy, so that's a big set piece that he would have been.
And you got to see
there
and the hell scene. So like him just seeing how they orchestrated that, he's probably like, "Damn, this is crazy."
Yeah. Well, your honorable mention is my winner, Fitch. I gave it to Agamemnon.
Okay.
Dude, that black armor, black helmet with the gold, like this. They look like spinal bones.
Yeah, they
like
do.
in the back of his head, like it's like braided into like the back of the helmet. Looks freaking crazy. The gold medallions on his chest are like holding his cape.
So tough.
And the fact that Benny Safdie looks so huge, I attribute that. That's part of the fit check. His workout regimen. I don't know. He looks sick.
No, it does look sick. And that's the funny thing too. Like that's one of those those his like Nolan adaptations where it's like that's not how the armor looked. And like from someone that's not like romanticized with the book, I'm like, I don't know. I think that's a pretty dope upgrade. Like that looks tough as hell. Like I know it's not accurate, but come on. Can we be objective?
Yeah, exactly. Like what if this wasn't in Homer's Odyssey, if this was just in Greek Travels 1, you'd be like, that's a tough fit. That's crazy,
what I'm saying.
That's some crazy armor. You know what I mean?
That's all I'm saying. But again, you're valid if you don't like it. You don't like it, you don't like it. But we like it here on the Film Room Podcast. Yeah. That was tough.
And when they open the gates and he's just standing there, I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is so freaking. And then everybody runs past him just as they run. And he's just like slowly walking in. I'm like the aura on this guy was just through the roof.
100%. Yeah. It's it was almost, I wouldn't say it's unnecessary, but it's just funny. It was like, this was definitely like a chosen moment where it's like, just everybody run past me. I'm just going to stand here and look cool.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just imagining like the whisper, like, okay, when they open these doors, I'm not gonna run. You guys go. I gotta
Yeah.
get my shot in.
Give it a couple seconds, give me a couple seconds to like get the shot. Because I was like, dude, if you imagine they open the gate and there's just a volley of arrows through this gate. Like
that's true.
You're standing right at the front, you're dead. But he's like, nah, I'm getting this aura farm off. So like give me a few seconds and then everybody run in.
It paid off.
It worked. You got yourself a filmy for that.
Yeah, you got yourself a
Good
filmy.
Good work, Agamemnon or Agimon or whatever the fuck you called him.
Oh my goodness.
Next award is our Ferris Bueller Award. This is our lazy award. So who is the laziest person in the Odyssey?
I gave it to Eumaeus, so the blind guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's for throwing the dogs over the cliff when deciding which one to give to who was he giving it to at that point?
Was
Those dogs were for Odysseus. Okay, I want to make sure that it was for him. But to me, it's not only is he just murdering animals instead of giving them to other people.
Wait, that was off the cliff?
That was off the cliff.
I didn't even realize that. I thought he was just throwing it to the side. I didn't even.
It was
what
off
the hell?
Cliff. Yeah.
Oh my god! Dude.
Not only is he murdering these animals, back then there's no coin, right? Like all they're doing is livestock is the currency. So you're literally just throwing away livestock, dog. You're maybe you could trade up 3 puppies, get yourself an ox or a cow or something. You're just throwing away money.
Wow. I just thought he was throwing them to the side and they were just gonna run away, but I guess that doesn't really make sense either. So like, god damn.
Yeah, he's throwing them off a cliff.
Oh, that's horrible. Okay, wait,
It's
this guy's supposed to be a good guy. Why would they do that? Because I
don't know.
If I realized that, I probably wouldn't care as much about him. But I want this guy to succeed. I'm like, oh, he's the blind guy. He's caring for the one dog. I'm like, he's a good dude. Like, but he was just murdering puppies at the start of the movie. Jesus.
And he wasn't. That's why Odysseus came in so quick and be like, yo, I'm gonna pick that one. Does that make more sense to you now? Because he's like, yo, chill. Just yeeting these dogs off a cliff. What is going on?
You're right. That doesn't make. I was like, oh, I don't know. I just. Maybe in my brain, I was just like, there's no way that's what's happening.
That's
here.
what you would like to think. I'm sure a lot of people are probably realizing that now, too, where it's like, yeah, you just throw them off a cliff, which I just don't understand.
That
Laziness. That's what I commented it to. He just didn't know what else to do with these dogs. So, like, he doesn't want them. Now I don't got to deal with them. I don't got to feed them, which is also weird because later he has 2 guard dogs. So, like, clearly he uses dogs.
Well, I think he just learned his lesson after that.
I guess so, but yeah, that's where my Ferris Bueller goes.
Okay, that actually almost was mine. Again, not knowing that it was going off a cliff, but just the way he yeeted him to the side, I was like, what the hell, dude? That was messed up. But I found one later on that I thought was worse. So I'm giving it to Odysseus, and the Trojan horse is his idea, right? So that's why he's in charge of this whole thing. So I'm giving him the credit for the laziness or the spite. So it's for leaving the horse so close to the water. And normally, like whatever, you're leaving this as a gift. They'll come get it. No matter what, they're going to have to drag this in. But when we learn from John Bernthal's character, he was like, the first 2 tides, we watched men drown right in front of us. That could have easily been avoided if you just left the horse a little further up the beach. Where you just like, okay, let's build the horse. All right, how far should we bring it up? Here's fine. We don't need to bring it a little further up. Tide might come in, kill some of us, whatever. It's fine here. It's also like half buried in the sand. Like, how did that happen? Did they do that on purpose? Like, why would you do that?
That's a good point.
But to me, it's like, just think like, if we move it a few feet up the beach, the guys in the bottom won't drown.
Yeah.
And he didn't think of that, or he didn't care. And I'm giving him my lazy award for it.
Yeah, if anything, he's the one that should be like, why'd you care about these men versus the past men? You didn't care about those guys in the Trojan horse.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, those guys have a gripe. Like, yo, I'd be like in there, but like, yo, when you go see John Berthold's character, go ask him what the hell that was about. Like, why didn't we move the Trojan a little further? Like,
no, when you see Odysseus in Hades, you pull up and be like, yo, what the hell, bro? Why did we do that? What the? Like, those guys have a rightful problem.
100%. That's a great pick. That is a very good point. That even adds more to the nasty smell. Not only because we're peeing and crying, there's dead bodies in there. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Thank
Yeah.
God I didn't go watch this in 4D. Maybe they would have made us smell that.
Or maybe we should give our lazy award also to the dude that like stabbing the horse. He didn't
Oh,
smell
yeah.
that?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of people probably stink. I think there was a lot of just like
Yeah,
all the
that's fair.
people around cheering and screaming, and they probably stunk too. So,
Yeah. Fair enough.
not a lot of people are bathing, I don't think,
Yeah.
back then.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
So yeah, still going to you, Odysseus. Move the horse.
Also,
further
you
up.
know what? To go more on the Trojan horse thing too, the fact that you can even kind of like stab through and stuff like that, you probably questioning why is this so heavy? Like, I assume this thing is hollow. Like, you would feel it. I guess the people pulling, they would be the ones to really kind of feel like, I feel like the weight's kind of changing a lot. This feels more like sands too, but whatever. They don't pay me to ask questions.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not paying me.
They're not paying me at all, bro.
Yeah, so I don't know. Good pick.
All right. Thank you. Next, moving on to the Sixth Man Award, the Keldon Johnson Sixth Man Award. This is someone with a smaller role in the movie that did the most with that small opportunity. Who'd you give your Sixth Man Award to?
I actually am giving it to the whole sound department. And because like I felt weird just like giving it to like one person, like when the one lead here, because the whole department deserves a round of applause, especially having the experience in IMAX. You just got so much of it. We talked about the earwax thing, which I think was just like a nice little touch. Like, I don't know whose idea that was. Was that a Nolan thing? Was that someone on the editing team? So that's why, again, I go whole software department. In the cave, oh my God. Like we talked about that earlier too. The screams of the Cyclops was eerie. It felt like they did a good job of making it feel like we're in a cave too, just like with them screaming, like you heard the echo, the sound of him moving the boulder. It felt like heavy. Again, like the screams felt like we were all in it because they made it him screaming bloody murder in that IMAX theater. The boat storm felt,
that's what I was gonna say.
Felt that. Yeah, you felt that.
Dude, when he was like, and the final straw was like Zeus cracking down on us, and the boat like splits in half, and there's just the sound was just insane, bro. You feel like you're in the middle of a hurricane.
Yeah, that, and then also just the hit, and then the hits of the battle too. Just like guys, he said, getting flung through trees, and just like the sound of guys getting chopped, and it was just shout out to the sound department. It's I didn't want to narrow it down to one person because obviously I know there's just so many people that did different sound effects and did different mixing. So I'll just give it to that whole department because they came through.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I didn't think to give to. I mean, I already had someone that I had picked for the award, but like the sound definitely like stood out to me, which is not common for a movie. You know, if anything, like sound wise, sometimes it's the score. Ludwig Göransson did the score, another one of Nolan's guys, and I think it was good, but I don't think it was like stood out like this is an amazing score. Maybe that's what
like
Nolan
when he did
wanted.
Tenet or something. Like Tenet was very. I was like, okay, I'm hearing this.
Right. Yeah. True. This one's a little more kind of like background, just kind of more communicating, like feel stuff like that, which is good.
It still is great.
But yeah, sound. That's a good pick.
What about you?
My Sixth Man, I gave to Samantha Morton, who plays Cersei, the witch. I thought I love that scene, and she's a big reason why. You know, like when they initially open the house, and then she opens the door, and she like initially gets scared. I 100% believed it. Like I said, I forgot that she was a witch and she's changing these people to animals. So I was already like kind of on the edge of my seat, like what's going on here? Then when she makes them like put their armor away in the back, and we see like all the armor of past soldiers piled up, I was like, okay, I don't remember what's going on here. And she wasn't giving it away right away in her performance. So I was like, okay, but maybe there's obviously something else at play here, but I don't know what it is. And then like when her whole demeanor and delivery and everything kind of changes when she gets real like bitter and angry when she's talking to them, like, oh, you men, you're just pigs anyways, and you know, just talking all that stuff. And as she's like pulling on their face and like changing them, which was crazy. And then the one-on-one with Matt Damon as Odysseus was just so tense when I didn't know how he was going to get out of it, what was going to happen, how it was going to happen when she's got the knife to his throat with all the power, and then, oh no, you got my bird. And then like just her performance was really great, and that scene was really great. So I gave him
Yeah.
a 6, man.
No, that's a great 6, man. Like, because like we talked about how memorable that scene was with her. Like, again, just violating those guys as she's transforming them. That's definitely one of the moments that it's definitely gonna stick with me. There's a lot to stick with you from this movie. There's a lot of great in here, but like that scene and her performance, like you said, I 100% believed her too. I didn't know she was a witch, so like yeah, it's a great pick. It's a very
And
good
then
pick.
and then when Odysseus comes back up, now it's, we know the jig
Yeah.
is up for us. We know that she's a witch, but she thinks that he doesn't know. So she goes back to like playing this, not damsel in distress, but like innocent woman.
Yeah.
And she's just like right back to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just feeding pigs and like, oh, you're a nice man and blah blah blah. And then her again, it starts to change as she gives him the soup and she's pushing him to eat the soup. And yeah, I just thought she was great.
Yeah. It's great.
Next up, we got our favorite quote. Pretty self-explanatory. What was your favorite quote?
So mine goes to Odysseus.
Okay.
And it's kind of like it's kind of funny, the quote. So the quote is, with a little luck and the right winds, we'll see some of the world and we'll still be home before Agamemnon. Agamemnon. Why can I say his name? But I just thought that quote was funny too, because just like it's like well, we're gonna get there, because this is like right after they win the war and everything. So like to me the quote's funny. It's just like, hey, we'll be home sooner than you can even think about it, guys. We'll be home, right? And then it's just like, well, that's not true.
Yeah. Famous last words type of one.
Yeah, famous last words. Look to see some of the world.
Yeah. There was a similar one. I think he says like right after it actually. Cause he says that, and then his right hand man, he's like, okay, well, should we get more provisions before we go? And he says, we've taken enough of Troy. Another stop or two won't kill us. It's
Yeah,
like,
that line is literally right after he says
yeah,
that.
that's it. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
I would just die because I forgot about it. So then, like, I was like, what's it called? I went, like, I was scrolling back just to see what I could find, like, on the internet, and then I saw that one scene, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe there's something here, because I wanted to I was thinking, like, did he say something? I feel like he probably did say something where he was like, from what I remembered, where he was like, we'll be home in like just in a flash
home
or whatever
before dinner.
Yeah, exactly, kind of thing. So him just being like, oh, we'll see some of the world. I'm like, you sure will.
Yeah.
You sure will.
More than you ever thought you existed. Yeah, 100%. You'll see the world.
But what about you? What was your favorite quote? Who got your best quote?
I give it to Agamemnon. When he's talking to Odysseus in hell, and he says, "Don't make my mistake. Don't walk in the front door expecting garlands and praise. Come in disguise. Take your time. Assess." I was just like, oh my God, that's just a tough line. And like I said, I wasn't expecting this angle to the story. I was like, okay, he's trying to get home and he's going to come home and that's going to be the thing. Like he did it. He's back home. But no, it's like, yeah, you got home, but your job's not finished. You know what I mean? Job's not done.
Kobe, like,
exactly. Job not finished. You got to come back. And it just got me so hyped up for the end. So I was like, oh, that changed my whole view on the journey. Right? I was just like, okay, this is the means to the end being I get home to my wife and son. Nah, the end, that's not the end. You get there and like you're still got stuff to worry about. You got all these suitors and you got people trying to kill your son and you got like all this stuff. So like coming in disguise, assess the situation. And that's when he does get there and then he gives them Sinon's name and then he is being very wary and comes in as the beggar. And like I was just so hyped for that, and that line as like a advice given to him I thought was really cool.
Yeah, because it's such a good point too, because it's such a great addition too, because in his eyes he's just like, oh yeah, everyone's gonna be back to see me. Like he's not even thinking about the reverse, but you really need to hear that. It's like, you've been gone for how long? You don't think one person's turned on you? You don't think people will be like, you'll forget this guy? Or just like, he's like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. I definitely should come in like through the back door and then see what people are really saying about me as a beggar. It's the perfect thing. It's like everyone thinks I'm just this lonely poor guy. So like I'll really get to hear them because they're not going to be like, oh, don't say it in front of the beggar. It's like it's just a beggar, whatever. So
Yeah.
no, I like
That was
it's a great pick.
that was actually one thing that I wanted to ask you too, because you mentioned, like how you've been gone for how long? Like the whole thing with Calypso, like
Yeah.
Odysseus and Calypso. Did you did you know, like, I feel like it's supposed to be kind of like this air of mystery around it, kind of
Mhm.
like why is he, because he's there and he doesn't remember who he
Yeah.
is or where he is or what happened to his crew and all this stuff. Did you, like, what did you think of that? Where did you think that was going?
I mean, it felt suspicious from the jump. Like, and as soon as
Okay.
he was just like chomping on the white lotus, is like I'm like that's definitely doing something to him. Like I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of assumed that, and like I assumed it's been such a long time because he's got that big gray beard.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it would take for him to get that, but every time they show the flashbacks, the flashbacks, he had like dark hair. He had like this tiny little thing. So I was like, it's definitely been a while. Some people grow facial hair quick. That could literally be in just like 1 year. You know what I mean? But it
Hmm.
was really gray also too. So I think
Right.
that's really trying to emphasize that like it's been a long period of time. And I wasn't the thing I wasn't sure about with the Calypso was like I wasn't sure if she was good or bad. Like I
Right.
wasn't sure if it was like another witch situation where like she's using him, she's keeping him on this island for whatever reason. So I wasn't sure about.
Yeah, that I remember from the story. So it wasn't like the mystery or whatever didn't work on me. I mean, it's still cool, I think, without it, because it's still another obstacle for him to overcome to
Yeah.
get home. And I think there was an interesting point when Bernthal's character Menelaus, he says, because when he's talking to Odysseus' son for the first time, and he's like, I still don't know where he is. I,
Mhm.
I don't know anything about him. Maybe he's dead. Maybe his son is like, maybe in prison. And he said, prison? What kind of prison could hold a man like that? And then the next cut is to him with Calypso.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I'm like, that's the kind of prison that could hold a
Yeah.
man like that is a
Yeah.
magical freaking goddess or whatever this is that's feeding him lotus flower. So
Yeah.
that was a cool little thing.
No,
Cool little
I
touch.
agree. No, it's good. It was good.
Um
Scene? I think
okay,
it's the
next
best.
scene. Yeah. Next, our next award is best scene. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene was the underworld scene. And
It's a
it
good
was
one.
tough. It was tough, but yeah, I
It
ended up
is,
going with
yeah.
the underworld scene. And to me, first of all, I just like the depiction of Hades. Like it was unique. Like I didn't know what to expect. Like my only depiction of Hades is goes going back to the Hercules show from Disney. He had like the
Fire. Yeah.
flaming blue hair and stuff like that. I didn't think we were gonna get that, but like I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't see anything, any trailers or any behind the scene images. So like I thought it was a cool depiction. Like kind of have him like in the ground or whatever. It kind of has like this little like sheet over his head or whatever it is. That sounds like
Yeah.
he's like in the KKK or something. I don't know, not that kind of sheet,
It's a
but
black hood and it's not white.
yes, but and I just kind of like that dark, creepy feeling that I had to it. Like actually we were talking about Ludwig earlier. I actually liked like that
Mm.
kind of like there's like a record scratch kind of sound kind of happening with like a beat, and it was just very unsettling. Like you knew something was off. Like all these guys, like these dead soldiers and anyone that's passed is all just standing there. It's dark, so they're all just like they're just silhouettes. And then when someone's coming forward to talk to him, it's just like the one person, but then in the background, you're just seeing all like these heads and stuff. I'm like, are these guys just gonna start running at some point? Like I kind of was anticipating that, but you just didn't know when. Like something's gonna
Yeah.
fall off, and the music is just creepy. It's just like it really feels like everyone's kind of angry there because they're dead. So I was like, you were waiting to hear the information that was being told, but you're also just waiting for that moment. It's like, all right, something's gonna pop off. I don't know if another more soldiers are gonna be killed. Can they kill them? I assume so, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I was worried about it. So I assumed that they were, but I just really liked that scene because it's just unique. I didn't know we were gonna get the underworld in this movie because
Yeah.
again, so it was a cool depiction. So and it's my favorite
I
scene.
Yeah, it was definitely on the short list for me. It's not my favorite scene, but it was really great. I mean, I talked about why I liked it so much. The what we learned in that scene,
Yeah.
that Sanon talked about Pattinson's like betrayal. So that was an extra layer. Gives Odysseus the little stick that
Mm.
he can throw back in his face later in the movie. That was a cool little angle. the when Agamemnon reveals that he was killed by his wife.
Yeah.
So like the line that I had just gave, that was my favorite quote, is from that scene. Was
Yeah.
really cool. And you're totally right about the depiction. Like they gotta sacrifice, cut the blood into this big pool. They come and like drink the blood before they start talking. Everything's like blue and dark and like this. They're on like black rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it looks cool. It feels creepy, and we learn a lot of stuff. And yeah, and then we get the prophecy about what's about to happen in the
Yeah.
future, and we're like, okay, how's that gonna go? So
Yeah.
it's almost a whole lot of just like build up for the future stuff,
Oh, for
and
sure.
it's great.
Yeah, it wasn't like this like quick like was passed by scene. Like we got a lot from this scene.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot of important information. It wasn't just like, okay, we got to show the underworld. It wasn't. It didn't feel like that. Let's just show what the underworld looks like because it's like it's a cool thing, and then let's get out of here. Like there's a lot of important stuff that happened. That if that underworld scene didn't happen, it's a lot of misinformation.
Yeah, that's what the giant scene felt like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
like,
what I'm
okay,
saying. Let's
it's not
go
like
show the giants,
scene.
and let's get out of here.
Yeah, because
No.
what was learned from the giant scene?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That their giants existed, and that now 2/3 of their group is dead.
Exactly. And we're not doing naked giants.
Yes.
That was
That's it.
information he wanted to show for people. That's
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
basically.
My favorite scene, I give it to the scene when Odysseus is disguised as a beggar talking to Penelope. I really like that scene. I think, for one, Damon and Hathaway are on fire in this scene.
Yeah.
You know, right at the start when she's like, "Did you know my husband?" He says, "Yes, I was served under him at Troy," and he wears this pin. And then when she realized like this is true, like he actually is someone that knew my husband, she breaks down. Then the servant recognizes the scar on his ankle. That was a cool little callback that we talked about. And then we're really learning a lot about how guilty he feels about Troy. That was an angle that I didn't really expect either. You know, he's talking about like how he pioneered basically the betrayal of Zeus's law. That's like a common thing that comes up throughout this movie, and basically starting and becoming the men from the sea. That's something that always comes back to. There's these men from the sea that come and attack people. He basically started that by betraying Zeus's law and starting that whole thing. And then we also learned that Zendaya is like his manifestation of Athena, because they like executed that girl right in front of his face, in front of Athena's statue. And it's at that moment that I realized like we never see any other like physical manifestation of any other god or goddesses, right? They're alluded to and we see their effects, but we don't see them. So the fact that we see Athena, and that's like his guilt almost being like, this is a constant reminder of what we did in Troy, executing this girl, and that's who he sees as Athena. That was a cool reveal for me. And the fact that all of this came from just this monologue of Matt Damon just speaking to Penelope with the flashbacks, giving more context from Troy. Like, we know how much he would love. I just know how much he would love to just reveal himself and be with his wife.
Yeah.
But instead he's like, nah, I gotta think ahead. I'm playing chess, not checkers. And man, what a scene.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great scene. It's interesting that my like thoughts with the Zendaya's character, I thought it was because you know they always say like Zeus's law, you know, gotta treat everyone because it could be a god in disguise. I thought the whole thing was like that Zendaya was that character in disguise, and that's why he ends up seeing her, because it actually was her. And it's like, yeah, you killed my human depiction, so now I'm sticking with you, kind of thing. I don't actually know. That was just what I was.
Yeah, that was never like told to us, but maybe I like that theory, because I mean, like you said, that is a thing where they're like a beggar could be a god in disguise, and I mean that's so maybe like Athena is Zendaya. That's not his manifestation. Like that actually is her in human form, and they killed her, and that's why she's like haunting him per se. Maybe.
I mean, I never, like, your perspective is interesting too, because I didn't think about it like that, where I'm like, that also makes sense too, where you just like, I feel guilt, and that like, because like that was specifically one killing that was like really stuck with me, so now I'm getting haunted by that. But maybe it also could be that actually was Athena disguised in a in a human?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll never know. We'll
We'll
have to
never
ask
know.
Nolan. We'll have to
I guess
ask.
so. But that's no, that's a
Yeah.
great scene though. 'Cause I really like that scene too. And Anne Hathaway was great in this movie too. Like
Hmm.
she really had her moments to shine. I wasn't sure. I wasn't really familiar really with that character, Penelope in general, to be honest. So I didn't really know what to expect from it. So that was she was great, especially in that scene, like we talked about, like the people maybe could be like, oh, left leaning thing, like her screaming. That one, like when she's screaming with Tom, that was a really great scene,
Hmm.
great emotional scene.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a couple of them early on, like before he decides to leave to find
Yeah,
out, to try and find out what happened to Odysseus. And they're kind of arguing about, should he leave? Should she take a husband? What should they do? She's pissed off at Odysseus. She's pissed off at the whole situation. She got to, yeah, she actually got a little bit to do in this movie, and yeah, she's great. Anne Hathaway's always great.
yeah, tough line to her. She's like, if it was up to me, I'd throw the flames in there and close the door. Like
Hmm.
she's like, she wants to kill you all. She doesn't want to pick any of you.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't want any of you guys.
Just get
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
here. But great scene.
Next, finally, last but not least, we have our MVP. Who is your MVP?
I just went with Odysseus, and I just think he was the most interesting character, which isn't always the case in a movie. You know, and the lead is
Sure.
necessarily not doesn't necessarily mean it's the most interesting character. So, but in this case, for me, he was. As someone who never really like read the book, like I really like the moral journey that he goes through. Like as we were talking about the movie, where it's just like he cares about these men. He's always trying to make the best decision, and like he kind of realizes like what they did. Like he's kind of reflecting back on what they did in Troy and all that stuff. So you kind of like you're going through that journey with him, and no matter what, he's always trying to do what's right, like for his men and like his for his crew. And in the end, he really can't save them, but like you at least you see where he's like where his heart is and what he's trying to do, and he had those badass moments at the end too. Like there's a lot of badass moments. I shouldn't say at the end, but
Yeah.
like his final like moment of him like being the beggar, bending the bow, getting. And I talked about earlier, like that whole double axe thing where he just like leveled the guy. Like I just thought it was the character that I resonated with the most. I liked the most, and like I said, that's not always the case. The lead's not always going to be the most interesting character, but in this case, it was for me. So he gets my MVP.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's a great pick. We get to see him do so many cool things. And I mean, he's also, I guess, built up to be, but he actually delivers. Like he actually is that dude, in the fact that
Yeah.
like in every scenario, right? They're like, okay, how do we can't break the walls of Troy? Trojan horse. Okay, we're stuck in this cave with the giant. All right, we're gonna burn his eye, and then we're gonna tie this, hay on the back of our
Mhm.
shields, and we're gonna crawl out. He's the one that gets he has so much weight on him, in the fact that like he gets the prophecy, like, okay, you're either gonna all die in this whirlpool, or six of you will die this way. And he has to make the decision of like, obviously I'm gonna go this way, but I'm still killing six of my men. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like he has to go through all this stuff. He never loses like in a fight. Like he's the only one that can string a bow. Like this guy is just a legend, and he's so cool. Yeah, he's cool. Matt Damon made him cool too. I
Yeah.
thought Matt Damon
No,
was
he
great.
did. No, 100%. What about you though? Who gets your MVP?
I had a tough. It was a tough choice. I wanted to give it to either Nolan or Damon, because I
Mhm.
thought Damon was really great, and like you said, Odysseus is in a lot of this movie and really cool, really interesting. At the end of the day, I give it to Nolan though,
Yeah.
because I think this is Nolan. This is what he does best. Like he's to me, he's like a master of execution. Like he has a plan, and like it always, all of his movies are really well crafted, like really well communicated. Like you'll understand some of his earlier movies. They're a little confusing just because the plot is so heavy. But like if you go on rewatches, like it's all there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you can figure it all out. So he does give you enough information. He lays everything out really, really nicely. I thought this one was a perfect balance of all the story elements that added so much to the film. Like I expected this to be well directed because it's Nolan. His writing sometimes, like I said, could be a little overwritten, but I thought the writing was amazing. I thought he killed it, like the perfect balance of those things that added so much to the film that I didn't expect, and his insistence to do everything practically. You know, especially the all the stuff on the water, all the boat stuff was just crazy to see in IMAX. First movie ever shot entirely for IMAX, like him pushing the envelope, like all these reasons are why he gets it over Matt Damon for me.
Yeah, and I can't argue with that. And to me, the biggest thing too, which is such a interesting thing, is like the pacing of the movie too. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's quick.
crazy to have a 2 hour and 50 minute movie, and it doesn't feel like it at all. Like I
Yeah.
don't feel, obviously, because I'm into it, and it's just like it's a movie that like I don't say resonate with me, but it's just like it interests me just based off like I don't know the story, but like I kind of what's going on here, Greek mythology and stuff like that. But I never found myself like looking at a watch like, okay, this moment's a little slow. Can we just get to the next
Hmm.
thing? Like everything was just like it was just bang, bang, bang. It was like the talking moments, action, talking, action. It's just like the way we get like sometimes we get flash cuts of like what people are thinking about or just like a past thing. And then it's like even just balancing the past and the present, which like that's his thing, like with time and like this guy's running out of time and how much time has it been? Like there's always an element of time in all his movies, and it's
Yeah.
just interesting how he can do that, and you can walk out of there and not feel like it was a chore. Because sometimes a movie can feel like a chore if it's
Yeah.
long enough, but
No,
it didn't at
he's
all.
no, you're right. I mean, this is what he's so good at though, right? Like he gives you just enough that you understand, but not so much that you don't need it, so it feels over bloated. Like and even he finds like a fun ways to do things where like when they go onto the island of the sun god, right? And they can't kill the cattle or else
Yeah,
they'll get spited down. And the wind is constantly keeping them in shore, right? They just cut to like this little scrap of fabric on the boat and we see it blowing that way. And then a couple days pass and we look and we see it blowing the same way. So it's like they don't have to tell us all the time, like, oh, the wind
yeah,
hasn't changed. We can't leave the island. It just boop, two
yeah,
second shot of this wind blowing that way, and we understand. Like it's just so such subtlety that he works into these things sometimes. And the fact that like you said, a long run time, but it doesn't feel slow just because there is so much. So like the fact that, and to me, that's a big undertaking, you know, to
yeah,
try and pack that much into a movie without making it feel like cutting stuff out where it's like, oh, this was maybe a little underdone. I wish we got a little bit more here.
yeah,
Like I thought everything felt really right. And like we said, everything kind of gets like buttoned up and cleaned up by the end. So it's not like they just kind of left things dangling because they didn't have the runtime to do it. Everything gets cleaned up and just so well done. So this guy doesn't miss.
yeah. Great pick. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say he doesn't miss, but
What's your least favorite Nolan movie?
Um, it's not even a bad movie, so I can't say it's a
Sure.
miss. But
Yeah.
Insomnia, it's
I haven't seen
okay.
that one.
Yeah, and then also like I don't love Dunkirk that much, and I
Mm,
think a lot of people. I shouldn't speak for everybody, but like I'm not people screaming that for at least him. People are screaming Interstellar. They're
yeah.
screaming Inception. They're screaming The Dark Knight. You know what I mean? People are saying Oppenheimer. People are saying this. Not a lot of people, but like Dunkirk's his best movie. If they say that, then okay, I'll have to believe them. But I think it's okay.
I like Dunkirk. I think it's really good. I haven't seen Insomnia, so I can't comment on that. I think some of his early movies, like even Inception, is one that like I think again like really pushes the envelope and I think is really cool. But I think some of the emotional moments in it aren't great, and I think that it can be like I'm talking like I was saying like overwritten in that sense where it's like this shit is so confusing that like you're trying so hard to like explain how this all works that like I can't even enjoy the movie on the first watch. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Tenet was kind of that too. I've
Yeah.
grown to like Tenet more, but that one was definitely on the first watch where I was like, did I like that? Did I like that? I don't know if I like. I'm just really confused. Like I don't
Yeah,
know if it was a
exactly.
little too heavy on the time elements and stuff like that. So that's the reason I'd say it wouldn't miss. Like I don't think if I have to rewatch a movie a couple times to like appreciate it more makes it like a miss. But
Right.
I think it makes it a little. It just brings it a little down for me. But
Yeah.
he's got
But
a
not
high
this
hit
movie.
rate.
This
Yeah, this
is
is
where are you ranking? I don't have to give me a whole ranking, but is this like high for you or middle of the pack? What are you feeling?
no, it is pretty high.
This
I
is good.
it's prisoner of the moment. So like,
Yeah, true.
it's always tough. It's top three. I'd say it's top three. I haven't seen Interstellar in a while, so like I always feel weird just like hyping up because I remember how much I liked it. I need to
Mm.
I literally haven't rewatched it like maybe in the last like 5 years. So I might rewatch it and be like, you know what? Actually, this one's above it. I've watched The
Okay.
Dark Knight like a couple times, so that's always probably just gonna be number one. Inception, I don't think is a top three. I really like Memento and I really like The Prestige.
Yeah, Prestige bangs. Memento was one of those ones too that for me I was like at the first watch I was like, what the fuck's going on here? So I was a little, maybe on a rewatch I would like it a little bit more, but it was still good. Prestige is great.
Yeah, that's really high for me. It's it could seep its way into that three. Those are my top three
Mm-hmm.
that I would say, and I think it'd probably be four or it could be
Yeah.
in it. Again,
Yeah, no,
Prisoner
this
of the
movie was
Moment.
great.
Just watched
Yeah.
it, so it's
Yeah.
very fresh, and I watched it in IMAX.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately for those other movies, like I never got to see Interstellar or Inception in IMAX for that matter.
Is Inception IMAX? Interstellar
Uh,
definitely is.
I don't know if I think you could watch it. Like I've never got to see it in IMAX, and you could put anything in an IMAX theater technically.
Yeah.
So, but I just never got that experience. I saw it in a regular theater, which was still a great experience.
Yes, Inception is available in IMAX. It was digitally remastered using IMAX DMR.
Okay.
However, Inception was not filmed using the IMAX cameras. So I think they just kind of did that afterwards.
They did like a digital. They did like a digital
added it
thing.
top and bottom.
Yeah, I think so.
So I don't count that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing how they get you a lot of things nowadays. They'll be like filmed for IMAX. Like a lot of things will say that, but like some people, it's just like they're just gonna throw it on the IMAX screen, and it's not actually even gonna fill it up. It's just come watch this in a big screen. This movie's not gonna be the full screen though, but it's in IMAX. It's just in the theater.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not actually IMAX. Yeah, it's not actually IMAX. It's like this and Dune are shot for IMAX, but everything else in this year is gonna say that it's an IMAX. Go watch an IMAX.
Is that the only two
that did 70 millimeter this year? Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's
Man,
expensive
for Dune.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Not a lot of studios are going to give you that money.
Yeah. Or, and difficult, like the whole sound thing and like big ass cameras, and it just makes things hard. And I mean, some movies just don't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're filming a courtroom drama, do I need to just see more? Do I need to see the ceiling of the courtroom? Like
yeah, I know exactly, 100%.
Yeah,
it does 100%. But yeah, I mean, no certifieds this week. But that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
It's we still.
I was so excited about the movie. It didn't even matter, man.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
I love filming episodes about movies that I loved.
Yeah, same, man. And if you guys want to join the conversation, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're on Reddit at The Film Room Pod. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube at The Film Room Podcast. And if you want to support the show, you want to support us, you could leave us I'll say 5 puppies. Go back to the as livestock.
Save 5 puppies.
Yeah, give us 5 puppies and we'll give you 1 ox.
Okay.
In livestock trade, if you want to leave that review, because it helps support the show. If you messed with any of our episodes, you messed with this episode, you want to give us your feedback. We'll read it on the episode if you leave a review. Funny, weird, whatever it is. Scott, do you have any final words? Any final thoughts?
No, I mean feels like it almost feels like a before and after moment, the Odyssey. Like it's one that was like, okay, everything's leading up to this and we finally got to see it. And the fact that it exceeded expectations, like, is just awesome. I love movies.
Yeah, same, man. It's just been a great year, man. Like,
yeah,
I keep saying it, and like I'm gonna keep saying it, just like to anybody who like the non-movie people too. I'm like, I don't think you guys realize how crazy 2026 is. Like, we're gonna look back at this year. We're like halfway through it, and there's all these surprise things. Like going into this year, people are like, oh, Project Hail Mary is probably gonna be cool. But it was gangbusters. Like Michael made all this money. Like they're like, we had Sheep Detective, like this small movie that I think people are gonna be like, oh, you ever seen Sheep Detective like years from now? Like it's actually a solid movie. It's like this little movie. Obsessions, Backrooms went crazy. Like, and we're still getting more. Like we're talking about a Ridley Scott movie that like we're not even really talking about it crazy. Disclosure Day, people are split on it, but a Spielberg movie came out this year. We're gonna get Dune, and we're gonna get Werewolf. Like we're gonna get a sequel to what's it called?
Godzilla.
Godzilla. And no, not even that
Spider-Man?
too. That's another Spider-Man. We're also gonna get a sequel to the Social Network. We're gonna get a like a prequel or as a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We're getting Digger. We're getting Zach Kreger's next film. Like, this is a crazy year. It's
Yeah, man.
absolutely nuts year. And I'm missing stuff probably.
Oh, 100%, man. There's movies that I haven't been able to see. The Furious came out, a movie that we both love so much. And
Toy Story 5 came out. Like that I don't know if you even got to see that yet. Like,
no. And there's movies to come that like you said, like we aren't on our radar and will be great.
it's a crazy year, man. This is great. This is awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's a great time to get in. We're a lot of new movie fans coming in, and hopefully you're joining the film family.
Hell yeah.
We'll welcome you with open doors. We do not throw puppies on this podcast.
No, we don't. But we do digivolve. Egg 'em on. Egg 'em on.
Yeah, exactly. With that being said, and remember, if you eat quietly, the sun gods may not notice. And peace out.
Peace out.